Alabama has.
It is time for Sunbelt Conference football on ESPN. Tailgating in Mobile isn't complete without the Prowl. The mascots, cheerleaders, dance team, the band, all a great run up to kickoff. And it's against a nearby neighbor. Southern Miss takes the 90-mile drive from Hattiesburg to take on South Alabama. The Golden Eagles playing with a conference title berth in sight. Welcome to the broadcast, everybody. I'm Pat Greenwood alongside Brian Gennard. And Southern Miss with a ton to play for. South Alabama is out of bowl contention, but they've never lost to Southern Miss.
Yeah, and when you talk 90 miles, that's almost like your backyard when you talk college rivalries, right? And so for South Alabama playing for pride, they want to keep that unbeaten streak alive. And if you're Southern Miss, you want to get back on track. You had a 7-game win streak. You lost last week against Texas State. You're looking to get back on track.
Quarterbacks are the big story today. Let's start with what we do know, and that's for South Alabama. It's going to be Bishop Davenport.
Yeah, Bishop Davenport. He's a young man that can hurt you in both ways. He can throw the deep ball, as you see right here. In the last 5 games, completing almost 70% of his passes, over 200 yards, 10 touchdowns in those games, 2 total turnovers, but he also has rushing touchdowns in the last 3 straight games as well.
It's been radio silent out of Hattiesburg, though. Is Braylon Braxton ready to go, or is it another start for Landry Liddy?
Yeah, and that's going to cause all kinds of problems as you get ready to prepare for this team, because who is it going to be? I mean, with Liddy, he's a pure pocket passer. With Braxton, he can hurt you not only throwing the ball deep, but he can also hurt you, as you see right there, with those legs. And so for South Alabama, they have to be better, ready for each one of them. But as we both talked about earlier, we're probably going to see both.
I don't think there's any doubt that we're going to see both today, but we did see both of those guys warm up, so we will have to wait a minute, too, because South Alabama won the toss and they will receive. The series history, we talked about it. South Alabama's never lost. They played every year since 2020. First 2 years, there were non-conference games. And then, of course, Southern Mississippi joined the Sun Belt Conference after that. As the Jags ready to go, Southern Miss ready to go. There's a look at Major Applewhite, second-year head coach. And then on your left, there's a look at Charles Huff, first-year head coach, at least at Southern Mississippi. So 2 guys that are veterans, used to coach with each other. We'll talk about that as the broadcast broadcast continues, I should say, as we are ready to go. Southern Miss has it teed up, and the ball is in the air, and here we go for Mobile. It'll go through the end zone. And what we do know, Brian Gennard, is Bishop Davenport is the guy for South Alabama. Last week, 17 of 23, 162 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions through the air, but he did run for 50 yards and 2 touchdowns last week against Louisiana Monroe in that victory. You see 7 rushing touchdowns on the year, 19 passing. It'll be Bishop Davenport. Kentrell Bullock will be off to his side. No P.J. Martin again today. He's out for the year. So the rushing attack for South Alabama will be Bullock and Keenan Phillips. So first play from scrimmage on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. It'll be Bishop going to the air quickly to Devin Voisin. Voisin makes the move, gets up to the 34-yard line. That's a 9-yard catch. By the way, Devin Voisin has been at South Alabama longer than this series has existed.
I was fixing to say, fitting on senior day here at South Alabama, you start with your most senior, right? As Devin Voisin makes that catch and gets the first down. It had been overcast until, I mean, all through the morning, through the warm-ups, and all of a sudden they take the field for kickoff, and the sun comes out bright and shiny here in Mobile.
They will give it to Bullock right side. He's got a huge hole. Kentrell across the 45 to the 49-yard line. First down, South Alabama.
That was just a great job by that offensive line, opening up a hole on that right side. And Kentrell Bullock doesn't waste any time of hitting that hole. You're going to have a player for Southern Miss that's going to have to come out. Helmet popped off. Trying to see who that was for Southern Miss, but we'll give them a second to make the substitution here.
Well, South Alabama likes to run the football, and Southern Mississippi defensively 7th in the conference when it comes to stopping the run. South going to the air again, swing pass to the other side, and much better defended by Southern Mississippi. This time Ian Foster was the guy that met Devin Voisin at the line of scrimmage. No gain at 2nd and 10.
Yeah, but 2 plays in a row, helmets had popped off. Ian Foster loses his on that play. You see him kind of engaged in a block right here, but Ian Foster does a good job of getting off the block and making the tackle. Those always freak me out because I think the ball's on the ground. All of a sudden the helmet comes rolling out, but no gain on that play for South Alabama.
Much better effort there by the Southern Mississippi defense. Brings up a 2nd down and 10. Anthony Eager in motion. There's Bullock left side, and he doesn't have much room to go either. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Southern Mississippi defense. Who else? Chris Jones, the leading tackler in the Sun Belt Conference. Coming into today, he has 106. 3 sacks, 7 TFLs, and forces South Alabama into a 3rd and long situation. Golden Eagles jumped. Bishop under pressure. Will throw it. It's knocked away, but flags down, and I would assume it'll be 5 yards for South to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Offside defense.
Yeah, Bishop had
that's a 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Had a free look right there, but the pressure was in so quick he had to get rid of it, and they will get that 5 yards and get a chance to do it all over again.
And you see the tempo that South Alabama will run. It's intermittent. It's not every single play they're going to go tempo, 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 but they will go at times very quickly, and they caught Southern Mississippi off guard. So now 3rd down and 5. They've got to get to the 41-yard line. Miller McCrumbie, the guy in motion, will keep it on the ground left side and squirts through, somehow gets the 1st down. Keenan Phillips, I thought he was dead to rights at the line of scrimmage, and somehow picks his way through, and now they're going to go tempo here for South Alabama. Phillips, the play fake there as Bishop rolls right, has his man cut down, and that's a nice catch there by Jeremy Scott, who was rolling across. Let's look at that run. How in the world did they get through? Okay, that's the actual the pass to Jeremy Scott there. I thought we were looking at the Keenan Phillips run, but either way, 2nd down and manageable. Jags keep it on the ground right to about the 25-yard line before he's pushed back, and that is just a bit short of the yard marker. Will bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Yeah, there's a towel sitting right around the 47-yard line. I think that's where somebody grabbed the towel of Keenan Phillips. That's why he was able to kind of pop out. But this
Phillips on the carry there. He will get across the line to gain. So another 1st down by South Alabama, a team that has struggled at times offensively, but boy, they're looking good on this 1st drive.
Yeah, but when that offensive line gets going, it really just does a whole lot for them. I mean, as that offensive line kind of takes control, just opens up everything. And then with Bishop Davenport being able to hurt you with the arm and the legs, it just, that's hard to defend.
Bishop, pressure from the backside, unloads to Voisin once again, trying to make a move, but run out of bounds right at about the line of scrimmage. Good defense there by Southern Miss. They've adjusted pretty nicely to that swing pass, and that was Josh Moten, the all-everything corner for Southern Mississippi there on the pass defense.
And it's one of the things that we talked to Coach Huff about earlier this week. He said it. He's like, you hate playing a quarterback that can hit you both ways, because it makes calling a defense even harder, because you can't just load the box, and you can't then just play nickel all the time too and wait for him to throw.
Breck Long was in motion. They'll go Jeremy Scott. He catches it at the 18-yard line. Leave him about 5 yards short. And it'll bring up again a 3rd and manageable, though, for the South Alabama Jaguars. Got to get to the 13-yard line to move the chains. There was a substitution, so Southern Miss can take their time getting their players in. Jamon Tapp now coming in.
You have to think, Pat, too, I would think this is 2-down territory right here in this 1st drive.
Well, South has had some struggles kicking, so I think it depends here what they do on 3rd down. Bullock is the setback, and he will get the call left side. Kentrell stood up at about the 15-yard line, so he is about 2, maybe 3 yards shy, and now decision time for Major Applewhite. South Alabama has gone for it on 4th down. 16 of 28 on the year, 57%. That's 4th in the Sun Belt, and there is no hesitation at all. Major says, we're going to go. So they got to get to the 13 here.
Throw you a couple extra tight ends in there. South Alabama does such a good job of blocking with those tight ends.
So big play early. On 4th down and 2, whistle and a timeout, South Alabama.
South Alabama.
So Major wants to talk about it. We'll step aside as he does. Jags with a 4th down when we come back to Mobile. Back to Hancock-Whitney Stadium. The Jags facing a 4th and 2 at the 15-yard line. Here's what they do on the ground this year. Averaging 4.4 yards a carry, 21 touchdowns on the ground. That's third most rushing touchdowns in the Sun Belt Conference. You got Kentrell Bullock in. You got Bishop Davenport, the quarterback, a guy who can run as well. Not to say they won't pass it, but tradition says they're going to put their head down and see if they can get these 2 yards.
Yeah, with Kentrell Bullock back there, you love your chances because that young man, he's just going to duck his head and get into the hole, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him get right behind Asher Hale and Ethan Hubbard right here as well, as see how they get that push on that offensive line.
They'll go 3 wide to the right. And now a timeout, Southern Mississippi.
Timeout.
So Coach Huff
South
saw something he didn't like.
Yeah, South pretty much changed their personnel. You know, they'd come in with 2 or 3 tight ends to start that, and when they came back out, they went 3 wide, and it kind of really threw off, I think, what Southern Miss was looking at.
Jason Seymour, the first-year defensive coordinator at Southern Mississippi, didn't like something, so the Golden Eagles will take a timeout. And, you know, the decision here, do you run it, do you throw it? If we're saying the Jags are likely going to run it, then do you throw the wrinkle here?
Well, and I think that was it. I mean, I think Southern Miss was completely prepared for the run, and then all of a sudden they come out, and those 2 big tight ends didn't come back out with them. They start spreading the field a little bit, and they're like, whoa, we're in the wrong personnel. We need some folks that can get out on the edge a little bit. And we'll see what South comes back out with now. Looks like 3 receivers spread out.
They'll have a tight end to the left side and only 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the left. And Kentrell Bullock behind Bishop Davenport. There's Voisin in motion. It'll be Bishop rolling right. In trouble, Bishop dives. It's going to be close. He was hit by Chris Jones, and now it's going to depend on the spot.
Yeah, I think he got it.
He did. Well, there was that hesitation of, do I throw it, do I run it? That one little cut. But you've got Chris Jones bearing down on you. That's never an easy thing to do, but Bishop got just enough to get the first down.
Yeah, I think that little duck right underneath Jones kind of gave him that extra little spill he needed. But I'm with you. Chris Jones bearing down on me. I'm trying to find a way to get down as well.
Pop pass, Devin Voisin stood up. Great open field tackle by Southern Mississippi. But they were prepared for that one. Malachi Henderson, the guy that stood up Devin Voisin and pushed him right back.
Well, that's a great open field tackle. That's a hard tackle to make when somebody's running at you full speed. You're just kind of, he did a great job of keeping his feet right underneath him, and then all of a sudden coming up and making that tackle.
There's Bishop left side, had a hole momentarily, but it closed quickly. That right side of the Southern Mississippi defensive line doing its job. Anthony Richard Jr. among the guys that made the tackle. And it'll bring up a 3rd down at the 11. They have to get to the 3. So far on this drive, 38 yards rushing, 21 yards passing. As we'll see Rod Gibbs coming in, the tight end. He'll go to the left side with, again, 3 wide to the right side of that South Alabama offensive line. 3rd down and 8 is what they'll officially call it. And it's a design run for Davenport. And he will be shy of the first down, gets to the 7-yard line. So that'll bring up a 4th and 4. As once again, it's Richard, the guy that makes the first contact. And once again, no inkling of a field goal try here. So Davis Little has been the South Alabama kicker. He's had some accuracy issues. Hamilton DeBoyan had some accuracy issues as well. And so the Jags 1 for 1 on 4th down conversions on this drive alone. They'll go for it here. Bullock, right side, churning, but I believe he's short.
He's the official on the far side has him right on the line, but they are pointing the other way. South Alabama going to come up about a half yard short right there.
Over on down. 1st and 10, Southern Miss.
So Southern Mississippi makes the stand inside the 5-yard line. If you know anything about Southern Mississippi football, they used to call them the nasty bunch up front. And I'll tell you what, that defensive line made a great effort to stop Kentrell Bullock and turn the Jags away inside the 5-yard line. So now, let's answer the question. Who is the starting quarterback? It will be Braylon Braxton. So we saw him warming up, and we saw him warming up without a brace as well. So we figured that Braxton would be the guy, but it's all a chess game in pregame. So Braxton will be the starter for Southern Mississippi, fielding the first one from his own end zone, right side, and not much doing for Jeffrey Pittman. Good closing speed by Cole Blaylock, local product from UMS Wright High School, coming from his safety position and getting Pittman right at about the 5-yard line.
Well, that is a great open field tackle right there by Blaylock, who's a captain last week, and great opening play is a short gain right there off the left side for Southern Miss.
So 2 runs to Pittman. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 5. Golden Eagles need to get to the 15-yard line to move the chains. Pittman will stay in along with Braxton, who again a big-time threat to run, but has a gun on his right side as well. He'll throw across the middle. Pass is complete. 1st down. That's Elijah Metcalf. And boy, did Elijah have a great game last week. 10 catches, 116 yards, and a touchdown. And so he picks up where he left off last week, and now tempo for Southern Mississippi. They'll go near side. Catch is made by Carl Chester. And that's another big gain for Southern Miss.
And you talk about tempo. They're trying to get up to the line and get it going again. First play, Metcalf did a great job of just kind of splitting the linebackers, curling up in the middle, and then a quick out right there gives them another chance to move the chains, and now they do slow the pace down a little bit as everybody looks to the sidelines.
But the more you do it, the more that opens up the run for Braxton, should he get the opportunity. He'll pull it, go across the middle, and it's knocked out of the sky. Good job defensively by Darius McKenzie. As McKenzie, the redshirt senior from Canada, was the guy that got the big paw up there and knocked it down. Again, no hesitation here for Braxton in the Southern Mississippi defense. They're ready to go again, 2nd down and 10.
And it's funny, I don't think if McKenzie doesn't knock it down, I think Cole Blaylock was in position to knock it down as well.
Pittman right side. Jags string him up for a gain of about 2. There's McKenzie in again, making the stop. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. Southern Miss does have that 1 conversion already on 3rd down. They have to get to the 36-yard line. Jags showing pressure. They'll back out of it. Now Braxton under some pressure, and he's going down. R.J. Moss Jr., the guy that came right in his face. Braylon Braxton couldn't get out of his way, and the sack will force the first punt of the ball game.
Yeah, he loops all the way around. You see the stunt right there as he starts inside, loops all the way around, and Moss Jr. gets him in the backfield, just nowhere for Braxton to go.
There's Devin Voisin, high hanging punt. Voisin will field it at the 36-yard line. Did not call a fair catch, and will get up to about the 42-yard line. And so South Alabama with good field position when we get back. Their 2nd drive is coming up next. Jags and Golden Eagles scoreless in Mobile. Well, there's a look at Devin Voisin on the South Alabama sideline. When you talk about key matchups, I'm going to watch Devin Voisin going up against Josh Moten for Southern Miss. Devin leads South Alabama in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns. Meantime, Moten is tied for 4th in the country when it comes to passes defended per game. It would be number 1 versus number 1, but Voisin wearing the honorary number 5 jersey. That's in honor of Anthony Mostella. So Voisin wearing the number 5 jersey today. Meantime, for South Alabama, how about this? We got a new quarterback, Jared Hollins. The local product is in place of Bishop Davenport. And Hollins will hand it off left side. I'll get right back to the line of scrimmage. Now this is interesting. Hollins on the season 2 for 2 for 5 yards. So not sure exactly what's going on with Bishop Davenport, but Jared Hollins, who's been running the 2s consistently for South Alabama, is the guy that comes in and will lead the offense here on the second drive.
And it looks like Davenport's right there on the sideline, close to where the coaches are. But Hollins, a young man, local product out of Mobile, saw him play a lot of high school football. He can actually spin it, so we'll see how he gets a chance to do that.
His first pass is complete to Gibbs along the sideline, and Rod Gibbs across the 50-yard line. Gibbs didn't have a catch last week. That's his 6th catch of the season. But when he catches, it's usually a chunk play there. And doesn't look like Bishop Davenport is any worse for wear. It may be a situation, too, where South Alabama is going to get Jared Hollins some playing time because, again, no bowl contention for the Jags. But interesting that it happened this early.
And a nice little comfortable pass to start him off right there to get him some confidence going in as they cross midfield.
Phillips once again the setback. Golden Eagles showing pressure. They'll swing it out left side. There's Anthony Eager. And Eager gets the first down for South Alabama. Almost sprung that one into the end zone. Corey Myrick was the guy that saved the touchdown for Southern Mississippi. But you see the burst of speed from Anthony Eager down the far side.
Yeah, Rod Gibbs really made that play for South Alabama. Does a great job on that lead blocking. You got to love anytime you got wide receivers that aren't afraid to get out and get dirty for you and block. And Rod Gibbs does that right there for South and busts that big play.
Phillips set alongside Hollins, and he'll get the call. Not much there, maybe a yard. So rushing yards 46 now as a team for South Alabama. Most of that on that first drive. But they've done some damage through the air. They were turned away inside the 5 on a 4th down try on their first drive. And as we hit the 2.5-minute mark here in the first quarter, Jags are deep in Southern Mississippi territory again. McCrumbie in motion. There's Hollins. He'll get it to McCrumbie. And McCrumbie met at the 25-yard line and drags Ian Foster down to the 22.
That time Devin Voisin does a nice job. He's probably going to get called for a blindside block if he really kind of lays it. You'll see it right here, but he just does a good job of just getting in front of the defender. Not laying him out, but giving his wide receiver a chance to keep going and get some extra yards. A heads-up senior play by Devin Voisin right there.
So 3rd down and 4. Jags need to get to the 18 to move the sticks. They'll try the ground. Phillips has the first down and more. Keeps his balance across the 15 down to the 13-yard line. First down, South Alabama.
Boy, just a great, you said keeping his balance. He does a great job. He puts that opposite hand down. He's got the ball in his right arm, so he puts the left hand down and kind of keeps himself off the turf for an extra couple of yards and a big first down right there for the Jaguars.
So South has rolled up 111 yards of total offense. Nothing to show for it on the scoreboard, though.
10.5 minutes of possession here in this first quarter as well, Pat. It was huge. I mean, Southern Miss has only had the ball 2 minutes and 45 seconds of this first quarter.
Jared Hollins in at quarterback. Whistle, and the play is stopped as Phillips was met at the line of scrimmage.
Southern Miss can get a timeout.
Timeout, Southern Miss. That's their 2nd timeout of the half.
Yeah, that's another timeout for Southern Mississippi. We will take it with them.
Please reset the game clock to 1 minute.
No score in Mobile. We'll be back after this.
Thank you.
at Jared Hollins, who has been the quarterback for the second drive for South Alabama. Right out of Mary G. Montgomery High School in Sims, not far from the South Alabama campus. Threw for over 2,000 yards in high school, 21 touchdowns. Led MGM to their best season ever in 2023. Had a lot of interest. Boston College, Virginia, Mississippi State, North Carolina State. Chose to stay home. Hadn't gotten much action, but drive number 2, they go to him. And we'll see what he does here. He's completed 2 passes, and with a single minute to go here in the first quarter, Jags have it 1st and 10. Defensive line stems for Southern Miss to the right side, and it'll be Phillips trying to go left. Keenan Phillips. Keenan Phillips. Touchdown, South Alabama.
That's just a great job by the left side of that offensive line, and Wiggins, Preciado at center. So Giriotto, they did a nice job of, and you see that eye candy kind of with the motion going back and forth, and then all of a sudden just the quick hit, nice hole on the left side. And Phillips does the rest for you.
His second rushing touchdown of the season. It will be Davis Little in to kick an extra point. Even extra points have been a bit of an adventure for South Alabama, but that one is right down the pipe. And the Jags draw first blood with 56 seconds to play first quarter. South Alabama has looked very good on both sides of the football, where Southern Miss has only had that one drive offensively where they netted 10 yards. But talk about that great blocking, and Keenan Phillips just followed the hole, and nobody was going to stop him, and Phillips into the end zone for South Alabama.
Yeah, it's been just an opposite quarter for both teams. I mean, you start looking at stats. Only one possession so far for Southern Miss. It's only given them a total of 10 yards. South sitting at 124. But the biggest thing for me is time of possession. South's had the ball 11 minutes, 18 seconds, where Southern Miss has only had the ball for 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And this first quarter is drawing very close to a close.
So it will be Hamilton DeBoyan to kick it off. He's been the long kick guy most of the season. Trying to put this one in the back of the end zone. Michael Woods is there, or Micah Davis, I should say. And he lets it go over his head, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Southern Mississippi. So the Golden Eagles on their first drive netted 10 yards, but they had more than that until that sack of Braxton. Kind of messed up the stats just a bit for Southern Miss. So Braxton back in for the second drive. We'll see Matt Jones, the setback.
And as you see Davenport there on the bike, and that may just be more of just trying to stay warm, saying that, hey, we're going to come back to you next possession. You know, make sure those legs are loose.
Braxton swings it out to Jones right side, and he is tracked down from behind. Great job by Ty Goodwill. Running along side to side with the intended receiver, catches him from behind, loss of 1. It's 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, another local product from Faith Academy right up the street here as well, Ty Goodwill.
Quick pitch to Jones. He's got positive yardage this time. Gets across the 30-yard line to bring up a very manageable 3rd down. It's Cole Blaylock again, one of the guys in on the stop. They'll call the line of scrimmage officially the 31, so it's 3rd and 4. Once again, we see Southern Miss tempo-wise. They don't have to snap this, but really not their MO. They like to go, so don't be surprised. They go ahead and snap it here, but they got 2 seconds to do it.
They're not going to
and
get
they
it
won't
off.
do it.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be the end of the first quarter. A first quarter dominated by South Alabama. The Jags turned away inside the 5 on their first drive, but they score on the second. We played one complete. South Alabama, thanks to the Keenan Phillips touchdown, they've got the 7-0 lead in Mobile. Back to Hancock-Whitney Stadium. You know, we mentioned that South Alabama has never lost to Southern Miss. I think Southern Miss knows. This was the video board at the Rock for practice this week. South Al versus Southern Miss rivalry game. We are 0-5 versus South Al. So we got a chance to talk to Coach Huff earlier in the week, and he kind of downplayed it and said, I got a lot of transfers, not that big of a deal. But I tell you, Coach Huff was animated prior to the game, does that for motivation. Guarantee that's been a topic of conversation in the Southern Mississippi practice facility this week, as Braxton is too long on that completion, on that throw, and that'll bring up a 4th down.
Well, you know, one of the things you asked him about that, and he was kind of downplaying it, but then I said, hey, listen, I've run into a lot of Southern Miss fans that are here local, right? Because it's only, like you said, 90 miles away, and they're not downplaying it like that. They, you know, they're all about it. It's going to get a false start here on Southern Miss, going to back them up 5 more. But
false start, 25.
And even as
5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
He's kind of walked around a little bit today before the game at the tailgate stuff. There's black and gold pretty well represented here in Mobile as well. So they're trying to downplay it, but everybody else around them is well aware of what the situation has been.
Reed Harradine puts his foot into it. Fair catch there by Devin Voisin, and he'll make the catch at the 37-yard line. And we'll switch things up and let's see who the quarterback is for South Alabama. We've seen a couple of drives with Bishop Davenport. We saw Jared Hollins come in on the last drive, led the Jags to that 7-0 scoring drive that put them in the lead.
Yeah, Hollins back with the headset back on, and I think that's why Davenport was on the bike trying to keep those legs warm, because he knew that the next possession was going to be his.
And there's not a lot of tape, obviously, on Jared Hollins, so maybe part of the chess game that you play between the sidelines is you know what Bishop can do. You don't necessarily know what Jared can do. So it'll be Bishop. He's got some protection, throwing across the middle. What a catch, Devin Voisin. They have targeted Devin Voisin several times today. That's his 5th catch. And it moves the chains right at midfield. That's
great concentration, though, because the way that Josh Moulton's playing that zone, Voisin's kind of seeing him out of the front of his eye, knowing he's fixing to get nailed. And, boy, Voisin does a great job of holding on to that ball as Josh Moulton comes over and makes the tackle.
So 1st and 10 Jags at the 50. It's long in motion. That'll be Bullock. Bullock across the 45, hit hard, spun down by Chris Jones. But it's a gain of 6. It's 2nd down and 4.
Again, that offensive line gets a nice push, and they run almost right into the blitz right there of Southern Miss. So once you pass the blitz, you've got a little bit of room to go, and you'll take 6 yards on 1st down all day long.
Total offense 137-16 in favor of the Jags so far. 2nd down and short. Bullock didn't have much. Stutter steps his way down to the 42-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, runs right into the back of Gerardo and then kind of bounces itself back to the middle. But if you're Southern Miss, I mean, with the being 145-16 in total yards, you're probably pretty happy you're only down 7-0 so far. Especially since you've only had the ball for a little over almost 4 minutes of this game.
So Jags have to get to the 40. You're on 3rd down and 2. Jeremy Scott in motion. That'll be Bullock. He's got the 1st down. Kentrell Bullock spins his way to the 36-yard line before Corey Myrick is able to upend him. But Bullock, the redshirt senior, started his career at Ole Miss. But last year for South Alabama, 152 carries, 832 yards. And he was the leading rusher with 7 touchdowns. 3A Mr. Football out of Columbia High School in Columbia, Mississippi. 17 players from Mississippi on the South Alabama roster. 7 players on Southern Miss's roster from Alabama. Bishop, Anthony Eager. He's got some space. Upended by Moten. But another good game by South Alabama offensively.
Yeah, but it all started with the block of Voisin right there. He does a good job of getting over and sealing the safety, Corey Myrick. You'll see the block right there on the top of your screen. And that kind of gets Eager going as Voisin with the nice block over there on Myrick.
So 2nd down and 1 at the 27. Bullock to the right side of Bishop Davenport. It's Eager in motion. They'll give it up to Bullock. Bounces off to the left side. Kentrell Bullock staying on his feet inside the 15, and another first down for South Alabama. And the first downs now, that is 11 first downs for the South Alabama offense.
Boy, and he almost had the leading tackler right there. Chris Jones got a shot at him. He goes after him right there, but Davenport just kind of high steps it, gets himself down the sideline, and another first down for South Alabama. When you can make Chris Jones miss, you're doing something.
Absolutely.
I mean, that young man is having just a whale of a season.
106 tackles coming in. He made 46 tackles last year despite missing the last 3 games with an injury. So first and 10 at the 15. There's Bullock again. Kentrell Bullock has some space, and Kentrell Bullock has a touchdown. Good blocking along the left side, and Bullock waltzes in. 13-0 South Alabama with the extra point pending.
Yeah, but the key block right there is going to be the kick out right there. You're going to see Chris Jones step up. And for South Alabama, I think it's Trent Thomas that got the block. We'll see on the replay, but looks like he's the one that led Bullock up into the hole, kicks out Chris Jones. And when he hit that block on Chris Jones, it really kind of opened everything up for Bullock.
So in comes Davis Little. His second PAT attempt. Good snap, good hole, and right down the middle. And South Alabama on top of Southern Mississippi, 14-0, 11 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the half. It has been all Jags so far in Mobile. Kentrell Bullock carrying the load on this drive and carrying it into the end zone. Southern Mississippi 7-3 on the year. They were 1-11 last year. Look at the stat comparison between last season and this season. They've almost doubled the points per game. Yards per game, 410 to 283. Passing, rushing, it is night and day under Southern Miss first-year head coach Charles Huff. Of course, he's not a first-year head coach, period. Got a lot of experience with him, but it has been a great turnaround for Southern Mississippi. I don't think they expected to be down 14-0 though this early to South Alabama.
Yeah, they've kind of blinked, and South Alabama sitting at 14, but again goes all back to time of possession. And one of the things that Coach Huff talked to us about, you know, he had some guys that transferred over with him from Marshall, right? I mean, probably about 20 guys.
21.
Or so. But yeah, 21 guys. But one of the things that he said is, I don't want that to take the focus around the other 80 that have really kind of bought in, come into Southern Miss and made this season what it is so far.
It was a great thought. I thought that he said, look, don't dim the light of anybody that didn't come from Marshall. Yes, I've got a bunch of Marshall guys. I understand that. But don't dim the light of anybody that's been at Southern Mississippi, that transferred in from elsewhere. And this has been a good Southern Mississippi team that has just struggled to get off the schneid here so far today. And Jeffrey Pittman doesn't have much running room, just does get back to the line of scrimmage.
And I'll give a lot of that credit, but because that South Alabama front's playing just really well right now and letting those linebackers just kind of go and do their job. And Blaylock and Myrick and those guys. Ty Goodwill's having a great game as well.
Braxton under pressure unloads it to Pittman, loses his balance momentarily, gets about 2 yards before Tyrell Johnson Jr. was out there to make the stop. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 8.
South's just doing a good job of just keeping Braxton uncomfortable. I mean, with the rush that's coming in, he hadn't been able to kind of step into a lot of throws that he wants to. And, as South just continues to put that pressure on, you can see Braxton, and Braxton hasn't pulled the ball down and taken off and run yet either. So you kind of wonder how that injury's doing.
3rd down and 8, and he is under pressure again, and he's going down again. South Alabama just pinning their ears back and going after him. I believe that was Achilles Woods, the guy that made the tackle. And there's just no doubt about it. South Alabama is overwhelming that offensive line from Southern Miss.
Well, Southern Miss just, for some reason, they're having a real hard problem with the stunts. I mean, they're running a couple of just guys rolling off of stunts, and Southern Miss just 2 guys going with 1 tackler and not able to kind of get themselves off. It's a dangerous play right there by Voisin.
Well, Voisin does hang on to it, and so South Alabama will have the football when we get back. 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Jags with an early 14-0 lead. Hancock Whitney Stadium on the South Alabama campus. Explosive plays. Here's what South Alabama has done offensively this year. We call an explosive a play of at least 20 yards. Last week they had 2 of them, including the 5th longest pass of the season. And they've done what they've done today with 0 explosive plays. They've had several that have gone for 15, 16 yards, but they've never reached that 20-yard mark. But the total offense right now, South Alabama, 187 yards. Southern Mississippi, 14. The Jags have 109 on the ground, 78 through the air. And thanks in part to the sacks, Southern Miss has negative 5 yards rushing.
Yeah, when you can kind of control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, which South Alabama's been able to do so far, you don't have to put them up 20 to pop. You can just kind of get your way down the field, and that's what we're seeing the Jaguars do so far.
Keenan Phillips is the running back as Anthony Eager goes in motion. And it'll be Phillips, and he stood up at the line of scrimmage by Broderius Lewis. I was about to call Chris Jones again because it typically is, right?
When you see that 3, you automatically just go straight to Jones. But yeah, that was Lewis right there from that defensive tackle position.
Lewis from Prattville, Alabama, went to Jones County Junior College. He was able to swim past the offensive line, make the tackle right at the line of scrimmage. So it's 2nd down and 10. Davenport to throw this time, tipped at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted. Jabari Ishmael was the guy it was floating toward. And this is a Southern Mississippi defense that's really predicated on turnovers because they've got 20 interceptions so far this season. 25 forced turnovers total.
And 2 plays in a row for Lewis right there. That was Lewis that got his hands up and got hands on the ball. Boy, that's a danger. That's what. As you're a coach, it seems like that thing floats forever until it finally hits the ground.
You saw the graphic there that the 20 interceptions leads the nation. And now they've got South Alabama in a 3rd and long. Davenport swings it to Phillips. He's got to get to the 45, and he does. 1st down, South Alabama. It just curled Keenan Phillips out of the backfield. Ian Foster was the guy that finally pushed him out of bounds, but another conversion for South Alabama. They are 5 of 8 on 3rd down.
And we've talked about it. South Alabama, just wide outs and tight ends do such a great job blocking downfield, and you got 3 to block 4. And so as you see him lock up, then it's Phillips' job to kind of pick his way through that noise, and he does. He gets himself across the sticks.
South has had a nice mix of the intermediate passes and the swing passes as well. They had a tendency early in the season to throw short. They've gone downfield a little bit. This time they will go short again, swinging it out right side. And a modest gain for Voisin. It'll be the 6th catch for Devin Voisin.
Yeah, but you want to see how to defend it. You look right there at Jonathan Penix. He comes up from that cornerback position. That time takes on the block, shuffles the block off, and then gets Voisin only after a 2-yard gain. So great play there by Penix.
4-man front for Southern Miss on 2nd down. Now they'll go to 3-man. They'll fake it to Phillips. Bishop in trouble, and he's going down. Well defended. Jamon Tapp was the guy that got to him from Donaldsonville, Louisiana, transfer from Arizona State. Comes into today with 55 tackles, and he was waiting on Bishop Davenport to roll.
He just gets good penetration, holds his position right here, and then when Bishop goes back in, kind of loses his footing. And then Tapp does himself a little tap dance afterwards to reward himself there.
So 3rd down and 13. Southern Miss rushing 4. Davenport in trouble. They'll set up the screen. Got to make 1-man miss. He does. Doesn't make enough miss, though. They'll bring up a 4th down and about 3 as Keenan Phillips gets it across midfield. Now it's going to be an interesting, do you go for it again? And again, there's no hesitation. Doesn't look like they're going special teams here at all.
Yeah, Jones doesn't make that tackle, but he slowed Phillips up just enough to kind of give his teammates a chance to stop him before he's able to get the 1st down. They're a hair from Phillips being able to kind of break that one away, but Jones reaches out that big paw and slows him down, and South's lining up to go.
4th down. They're 1 for 2 on 4th down today. Got to get to the 45-yard line to move the chains. Bishop has a seam on the right side and can't get there. What a job by Broderius Lewis that was able to get to his ankle. And Lewis
as the runner was short of the line of gain. The ball will go over on downs to Southern Miss.
Stops the Jags, and it'll be Southern Miss ball in good field position for the first time today. We'll see what the Golden Eagles can do. South Alabama turned away, right around midfield. Eagles ball when we get back. We are back to Hancock Whitney Stadium. They just had a baby race. The winner gets a lifetime hunting and fishing license in Alabama. And it's funny how you plan things out as much as you can. They only had to go 10 yards.
No,
and that
5.
Was it only 5 yards?
5.
Well, that was about 4 yards too long. The babies just sat there. But it looks like.
Well, the funny thing is once they take off and the crowd would get into it, then it'd stun them and they'd stop.
Pretty cool promotion by Alabama Outdoors. Now a little flea flicker, and he's got a man wide open, and Southern Mississippi is on the board. Carl Chester got behind the South Alabama defense, the little flea flicker, the handoff, the pitch back, and Southern Mississippi is back in this ball game.
Yeah, how quick things can change right there on just a quick flea flicker. I mean, a great play. They run it right up the middle, and then they toss it back. And then just on the money. You'll see right here, everybody from South Alabama gets sucked in and then just lays it right out to his receivers, 10 yards behind everybody on the plays.
And those are the tougher passes to make when your guy is so wide open.
Yeah.
But great job by Braxton to get the touchdown. And now here comes Creighton Wilbanks in for the extra point. Good snap, good hold. And Southern Miss is within a touchdown. So the Golden Eagles needed something good to happen. They got a nice stop on 4th down. Unlike the last time, it was around midfield, and they had good field position. And they take immediate advantage, and it's 14-7 as an injured Golden Eagle down at about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, you give a lot of that, though, I mean, as you kind of go back to that defensive possession, Darius Lewis had a great possession right there for Southern Miss. He has the big tackle on 1st down, then he comes up with the pass knockdown, but then on that 4th down play, it looked like Bishop Davenport really had a lane, and Lewis somehow gets off the block and is able to kind of lean back and going down, able to grab Davenport by the leg to get that ball and turnover and downs. And then what do? You come back and you strike quick for Southern Miss. So for a game that's just totally been dominated on the stat side by South Alabama, Southern Miss only finds himself down 7 here.
That was Luke Rogers, the offensive lineman, who was hurt. Best wishes for that young man is Charles Huff. He knows a thing or two about coaching. Took the Marshall Thundering Herd to the Sun Belt Conference Championship last year. Major Applewhite knows a thing or two about coaching and playing football as well. He was the offensive coordinator under Kane Womack for 3 seasons. And once Coach Womack went up to Alabama to become their defensive coordinator, Applewhite took over the head coaching duties, took the Jags to a bowl game last year. Right now they're 3-7, but really haven't been blown out by anybody. It's just been one of those, I call it whack-a-mole. One day it's the penalties, the next game it's the turnovers. And they've been in a bunch of games this season, but haven't come out on the winning end very often.
It really has been kind of crazy how, like the first couple of games, and even when they went up to Auburn, I mean, you know, playing so well. And again, it was the probably 3 to 5 penalties a game, not 10 to 12. And then no turnovers in those first 2 or 3 games when they looked so good. Then all of a sudden, man, the turnover bug just kind of really started getting them. But so far today, offense has been playing really efficient. They've gone for it twice on 4th, or 3 times on 4th down, but only been able to be successful on one of those attempts.
Pivotal possession, I think, early on for both teams, as Bullock will bull his way across the 30 to the 31, maybe the 32. Good push here on 1st down as Joseph Harper was the guy to bring him down. No huddle there for South Alabama or substitutions. They're going to get back up to the line as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that really was a lot of Bullock because he got contact around the 27, 28. Pulls his way out to about the 32.
Gibbs in motion. Bullock again, stutter step, and he's got the 1st down to the 36. Kentrell Bullock has 12 carries so far for close to 70 yards for Kentrell. He's got a rushing touchdown, so does Keenan Phillips.
And a good thing he did stutter step, because what he saw was Chris Jones coming in, and what he was waiting for was Rod Gibbs to come and make that block. As you see, Gibbs was in motion, and Gibbs does a good job of just getting a piece of Chris Jones enough to get Bullock up in the hole.
Great stat there, 5.8 yards a carry for Kentrell. Now 1st and 10. He'll pull it out of his belly at a pitch and catch. Bishop Davenport going to Micah Woods. 1st down, South Alabama. First catch we've seen from Woods today. the Birmingham native, Buffalo transfer, got inside the defense and hauls it in. First down, South Alabama.
That play's all set up by the run fake right there. It pulls the linebackers up and lets you throw that slant route.
They'll swing it again. Anthony Eager gets past one man, going down the sidelines, and Eager finally pushed out of bounds after another first down. It's Corey Myrick who saved the touchdown, but once again, those chains move for the Jags. 16 first downs.
And once again, good blocking by your receiving core. That gets Anthony Eager's got one-on-one. He beats the first man and then's trying to do a little tightrope down the sidewalk and just unable to do it. As you'll see, step out right there. Good hit to force him out of bounds.
Jags at the 38-yard line. Tough sledding inside, maybe a gain of 2. As that Southern Miss defense inside, Jamon Tapp among the 4 or 5 Golden Eagles that were able to make the stop. After a modest gain, they'll give him 1. It'll make it 2nd and 9.
And we saw Tapp on the last possession with that big stop for a loss on Davenport. And that time, Tapp just gets great penetration right there up the middle. South's going to get credit for about maybe a half a yard, but Tapp doing a good job of getting that push up front.
Under 4 minutes to go in the half. Receiver in motion will put 2 on each side. They'll go Voisin again. Good downfield block, and Voisin pushed out of bounds by Moten, but another first down for the Jags.
Trent Thomas, the lead block on this play right here for South Alabama. You'll see Trent Thomas downfield. But boy, I tell you, Moten does a great job of getting off the block by Thomas to stop that play. Looked like for a second that one's going to the house, but Moten somehow able to get off, shed the blocker, and force the runner out of bounds.
The 1st and 10 at the 25. Thomas in motion. Near side now back to far. And they'll swing it right side. Anthony Eager going nowhere. Good closing speed by Ian Foster. Foster, a big-time kick returner at Marshall last year, but from Brundage, Alabama, Pike County High School.
Yeah, watch him get off the block right there. Thomas trying his best to get out in front of him, just can't do it because Ian Foster's so quick to come up and then also get up underneath Thomas. That was a good play, but that's one of those ones, they start jumping those routes like that, then look for the pump fake and go at some point as well for South Alabama.
So loss of 1 makes it 2nd and 11. Bullock, doesn't matter. Kentrell Bullock into the end zone. His 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. The Jags respond, and they're up 20-7.
Boy, there you go. Hit side to side, right? Going left and right all the way to those corners. Everybody looking for those passes out on the corners, and all of a sudden you just a quick hit right up the middle, and before you can look up, Kentrell Bullock standing in the end zone. Just a great job by that offensive line. Nobody puts a hand on Kentrell Bullock on his way to the end zone there.
So Davis Little called on again for extra point duties. He's 2 for 2, and now make it 3 for 3. Right through the uprights, and after the flea flicker touchdown by Southern Mississippi, South Alabama responds. What a drive by the Jags. 8 plays, 75 yards. Took exactly 4 minutes off the clock, and it's 21-7 South Alabama.
That is a great answer, because you always want, I mean, you know, you've kind of dominated the first quarter and the beginning of the second. All of a sudden you go for one right around midfield. You don't get it. Southern Miss hits you with a big play, and then you kind of look at your team like, hey, how are we going to respond here? And boy, Major Applewhite got exactly what he wanted from his group to come down and put together an 8-play, 75-yard drive to put that lead back to 14 for South Alabama.
Time of possession, almost 22 minutes for the Jags, about 5.5 for Southern Mississippi.
That's a little lopsided, and they're still sitting at negative rushing yards as well with a couple of sacks that they've had. So, yeah.
Southern Miss with 71 yards passing, -5 rushing, so that's a total of 66, but they're down only 2 scores, and they'll get the ball back with 2:28 to go. They've got 1 timeout to work with, and they've got the 2-minute timeout as there's a scuffle at about the 30-yard line. These guys have been chippy all game long. We haven't seen many penalties here, but I'm wondering if that might tighten things up just a bit.
It's funny. You kind of see things get a little out of hand right there as one of the Southern Miss players lost their helmet and kind of came back to talk about it.
And again, these two schools 90 miles apart. A lot of these kids played with each other or played against each other in high school. And you know, Southern Miss coming in with a chip on their shoulder, never beaten South Alabama. And of course, they don't like the fact that they started so slowly. And Braxton pulled down at the line of scrimmage. And boy, how gingerly was he running right there?
Yeah, he's not running full speed. And that's one of the things for South Alabama. They kind of been pinning their ears back a little bit and going at him because he doesn't seem to have that second gear where he can just escape from it.
Back to pass this time, swings it out, and he's got a man wide open. Good stutter step at the 40-yard line, across the 45 to the 50, across the 45 as Kyron Heath was wide open. Mike Harris finally makes the tackle, but nothing fancy about that other than just get it out to your guy in space who makes the play. And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout. Southern Miss in South Alabama territory trailing 21-7. For Southern Mississippi, that last play, 33 yards. Braylon Braxton to Kyron Heath. That puts Southern Mississippi in South Alabama territory. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And remember, Southern Mississippi will get the ball to start the second half. They have one timeout to work with. Let's see if they can put some points on the board. Braxton swings it to the near side. Breaking a tackle is Pittman, and then run out of bounds. Pittman mixing it up with Javon Henderson. And Javon and both of these guys able to keep their heads about them. Wasn't sure after that special teams dust up between the two, but that does stop the clock at 1:49. Loss of 1 makes it 2nd down and 11. They'll go the quick pitch to Pittman. Pittman, nice cut. Gets to the 35-yard line. He'll be about 3 yards short. And once again, bit of a dust up at about the 45-yard line between Ed Smith, the defensive lineman for South Alabama, and Kyron Heath, the tight end for Southern Mississippi.
Officials
Meantime,
timeout
that's
for
Tyrell.
Johnson Jr.
Yeah, that's Tyrell Johnson Jr., who was part of that mix at the 45-yard line. He's down on his stomach. Now roll him over and take a look at him. Tyrell has been a guy that really came on strong for the Jags. A transfer from Harding. He had 45 tackles in 2 seasons there. They won the D2 National Championship at Harding in 2023. Comes from Wynne, Arkansas, and starts today with 50 tackles, 5 TFLs in the sack. He'll be aided off the field.
It looked like his leg just got caught up, especially when they were kind of just the extracurriculars afterwards. He was right in the middle of it, and his leg was kind of right underneath it. And he's gingerly walking on that left ankle, it looks like.
But putting weight on it, which is a good sign.
Yeah, they took him immediately to the tent to take more look at it. They got him up quicker than I thought
Southern
they were
Miss
going
has
to.
chosen to decline the 10-second runoff provision. The
Take a
clock
look
will
at it.
start on the snap.
Right there.
There was Tyrell on the right side of your screen. Couldn't really see what happened there. But it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 at the 35-yard line. I would assume 4-down territory here. 2 chances to get to the 32-yard line. As you see Darius McKenzie, the Canada native, trying to turn away Southern Mississippi here. Pittman is the setback along with Braxton. 1:35 to go in the half. They'll give it to Pittman. Dancing in the hole, and he is close to a 1st down. I believe he got it. Gets to the 31. Yes, move the chains for Southern Mississippi. Their 5th 1st down today, and it's a big one. Stop the clock momentarily at 1:29. And the drive continues deeper into South Alabama territory. As Cooper Frazier lost his headgear, he has to come out for a minute.
He needs the 31.5, and he gets the 31, so he does move the sticks right there for Southern Miss.
1st and 10 at the 31. Robert Briggs is the setback. They'll fake it to him. Now Braxton under fire. Will try to get Briggs on the wheel. The errant pass falls incomplete. Actually thrown pretty well, because if Briggs wasn't going to get the ball, nobody was going to get the ball.
Yeah, he was under a lot of pressure right there. South brought the pressure. And I mean, you can see it as Braxton, he's just not moving like you're used to seeing Braylon Braxton move. And he does a good job of just getting that ball off, but he can't get his feet underneath him to get everything under it he wanted.
He's 7 of 10, 103 yards, and a touchdown pass so far. Now has pressure from the backside. Again, throws off his back foot. Not sure who that was intended for. Kyron Heath was in the general area, maybe about 10 to 15 yards down the field. But the pass is incomplete, so 2 straight incompletions will bring up a 3rd down and 10 at the 31-yard line.
You can almost see it in his body language, though, Pat. Watch him as he, next couple of passes, especially when he's under pressure, as he throws it, then he's almost kind of hopping around a little bit, and really conscious of keeping people off his legs, or even right around even that area where he's making sure he's not getting any contact whatsoever.
Pressure again. He'll swing it out to Briggs, and he's going nowhere. Short gain, and then Dallas Young knocks him down.
Knocks
They'll give him
knocks
2.
him down. A nice way to say it.
They'll give him 2. But watch the closing speed here by Dallas Young. My goodness, what a hit.
Timeout, South Alabama. It's their 2nd of the half. Please set the game clock to 5.3 seconds. 30 seconds.
So the chess game here is don't let the clock run out. Let's see offensively if South Alabama can get something done with 1 timeout to go. And we'll see if Southern Miss is going to go for it here. It's 4th and 8. They got a field goal kicker who is pretty darn good in Will Banks. I would assume they'll try to kick the 3 here. As you see, once again, great job by Dallas Young, the redshirt sophomore, transferred from Arkansas. And it will be Will Banks. They'll tee it up at about the 37-yard line, so a 47-yarder for Will Banks. He's 1 for 2 from this distance. 5 for 6 on the year. Long of 52, so this is certainly in his range. Trying to get the Golden Eagles in double digits and not going to get there. Pulled it left. Ty Goodwill and the South Alabama defense celebrating after turning the Golden Eagles away again. Wilbanks off the mark. And now South Alabama offensively will have 48 seconds and 1 timeout to work with. And the lead still at 21-7.
That's a big play for South. I mean, for that to miss that field goal, that just to kind of stand up the way you did on defense right there to force that 4th and 8. I'll tell you one thing, a guy comes up like a Dallas Young and makes the hit he made on that 3rd down play, especially in the open field, that fires everybody up. I mean, you know, and you could see the excitement in that young man when he got up, and boy, that's contagious. And we'll see if that offense can get a couple of things going. We'll see probably if they don't get something going in the first play if they shut her down.
Yeah, you got to be careful here. We mentioned already that Southern Mississippi leads the nation in interceptions. Safe pass here, though, out of bounds, as they'll get a couple. They'll throw it to the tight end, Miller McCrumbie, who makes the catch. Bring up a 2nd down.
Yeah, but you love those little 7-yard outs. You don't burn up any of your timeouts, and you know, you get positive yards out of it. So really about 6, maybe 7 on the gain right there for South Alabama.
So it gets it to the 36-yard line. 2nd down and 3. Jags have dominated this first half. They're up 21-7. Bishop again, now taking a deep shot, trying to get it to Jeremy Scott. Well covered by Josh Moten. That'll bring up a 3rd down with 37 seconds to go. You got to be careful here too, because Southern Mississippi does have a timeout to play with. And so they may want to make Alexi Polkinen punt if you stop South Alabama on 3rd down.
And that time just trying to get that little stop and go route going, but Southern Miss doesn't fall for it as Moten, great coverage for the Golden Eagles.
Just beyond the 39-yard line is the line to gain, and they are not going to get there. Stood up and pushed back. Jamon Tapp. How many times have we called his name today?
Now, Southern Miss, this is their 3rd and final timeout of the half. Be 30 seconds in length. Please reset the game clock to 34 seconds.
Tapp
3,
come
4.
alive.
Thank you.
Tapp had a interesting route to Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Played in 9 games over 2 at Texas, then went to Arizona State where he didn't play. And now as a redshirt junior, the Donaldsonville, Louisiana native at Southern Mississippi comes in with 55 tackles today. He was a high school All-American out of Ascension Catholic High School. And you're right, he has made a name for himself today. Southern Miss does use that final timeout, so they're going to make South Alabama punt here. But if the punt is successful and deep enough, you would think that may be it. They would shut it down. But at the same time, you got Micah Davis, who averages 20 yards a return back there to field this punt. And Alexi Polkinen, first time we've seen him today.
Yeah, and you'd love to pin him over there on the sideline, on the far sideline over towards Southern Miss. The other thing is, if you can pin him over on that sideline as well, he's going to be looking directly back into the sun trying to field this punt. So we'll see where Polkinen is able to put this one. And South's going to jump. And
was that offside? I couldn't tell.
Well,
hey, look, if
Ball
you're
start. Offense, number 24. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
But look, I say if you're going to get a false start, get a false start.
yeah,
I mean,
he got a 10-yard running start.
go ahead and get your money's worth. So that'll bring Davis up to the 30-yard line, and Polkinen will punt from inside his 20. Alexi averaging just under 40 yards a punt. A lot of pressure up front. Let's see if Southern Mississippi goes after it. And that is a good punt by Polkinen. Driving Micah Davis all the way back to the 15-yard line. That's a great job for Alexi Polkinen. That'll pin Southern Mississippi at their own 15-yard line. 28 seconds to go. Not saying for sure that Southern Miss will just run it out here, because you never know. You got some pretty explosive receivers. But do you take the chance here?
I don't think so. You're getting the ball to start the second half. You don't want to do anything that's going to get you hurt. And as far as, you know, maybe putting one down, as you start seeing them kind of go back. You got to have somebody almost on the goal line as they down this ball. But that was a huge punt right there for South Alabama to kind of squander any kind of hopes of an offensive opportunity here.
So Charles Huff will indeed wave the white flag in the first half, or will he? No, it was a little trick play as they tried to catch South Alabama napping, and it didn't work. A little quick handoff to Robert Briggs, but nobody was fooled. South Alabama was paying attention, and that should take us to the halftime horn. And now everybody's starting to make their way to their respective locker rooms, and it's been a very good half for South Alabama. The Jags 3-7 on the year. Southern Miss 7-3, but after 30 minutes of play, it's South Alabama on top of Southern Miss, 21-7. Halftime festivities from Hancock Whitney Stadium coming your way next. Jags and Golden Eagles playing a good one in Mobile.
Sometimes, you just have to get outside and play, and we have just the place for you to do that. The outdoor pool at the rec center is just like a resort. It's a zero-entry pool with a hot tub, volleyball nets, basketball goals, water polo goals, a vortex, and a deep water well. It has a shallow area too, perfect for sunbathing. The large pool deck has swings, tables with chairs, hammocks, and lounge chairs.
If you're into disc golf, there's an awesome course located on Aubrey Green Drive near the maintenance garage. Just grab some friends and head for hole number 1, but do it before sunset as the course is closed after dark. Looking for outdoor fitness? The Jaguar Fitness Trail is a 1.5-mile loop on the north side of campus with a gravel path and fitness stations in 3 different locations along the trail.
The Glen Sebastian Nature Trail includes over 3 miles of paths winding through 95 acres of native pine and oak woodlands. Back behind the Jaguar Training Center, you'll find 45 acres of mountain biking trails. Maintained by the South Alabama and Mississippi Mountain Bike Association, the trails provide a place for off-road riding without ever leaving campus.
Time like the present, because the present is offering so many opportunities. Right now, there are a lot of good things going on around us in our city. It's growing. And the University of South Alabama has both an opportunity and a role to play in that. Back when I first started at Thompson Engineering, I reconnected with my high school baseball coach, Coach Steve Kittrell. We reconnected, so that reconnected me, connected Thompson Engineering, because we began to support Jaguar Athletics as a company and an entity, and that just blossomed into many, many things, including support of the Shelby Hall and the engineering entity at South Alabama, and a lot of other things. You know, our giving to the university at Thompson Engineering and my personal giving to the university is to really help promote what we do collaboratively around here. Without the university, we don't have the hundreds or thousands of employees in the Mobile economy. There are just so many interconnections, the sports, the culture, and our health system, and the things that we can offer there that we can offer that no one else can, because we're an academic research university. And I could see the power the university had and how we needed to just work to unleash that in its full potential. I had the opportunity at one point in time and get the confidence of my colleagues, and they elected me chair of the board. I served a 3-year term as chair. I think this is a great board that's just energized to just make this university the best it can be. I mean, our president and our provost are out there recruiting students. We're growing in student population. The students feel the energy to come to South Alabama and to be a part of something really special. This really, truly is a special place. There are special people. USA Way is different. I mean, it's taking care of the details. We see things through at this university. We're doing it because it makes our community better for so many of the right reasons, because that's the USA Way. When you're at the position South Alabama is as a university and you have the momentum, it's your responsibility to take your strengths and take your abilities and be bold and make this university the best it can be and make it the best contributor to the Gulf Coast that it can be.
Stadium on the campus of South Alabama. What a first half for the Jags. They lead Southern Mississippi 21-7. Pat Greenwood and Brian Gennard here in our broadcast booth. And you go back to last week when Southern Miss played Texas State. The Bobcats really jumped out early on Southern Miss, kind of punched them in the mouth. We've kind of seen that same thing today.
Yeah, South Alabama's got the start they wanted. I mean, they have really dominated time of possession, and everything has gone South's way. Southern Miss able to get back in with a trick play, and we'll see how this continues in the second half.
Well, let's roll the first half highlights and show you how we got here. And it was really the South Alabama defense that started the ball rolling for the Jags. Really got it going was R.J. Moss, getting Braylon Braxton down for the sack, and that set the tone defensively for South Alabama. Darius McKenzie jumping up, getting the big paw on the pass, and South Alabama then finally turns it into points. They were turned away on a fourth down, their first possession, but the second possession, Keenan Phillips from 13 yards out makes it 7-0 South Alabama. Second quarter, how about Kentrell Bullock? 15 yards into your living room, right inside the pylon, and the Jags had a 14-0 lead. More defense, no problem for the Jags. Tyrell Johnson Jr. making Braxton uncomfortable, but here's that trick play you talked about. Braxton finds his receiver, Carl Chester, all alone, and Southern Mississippi made it a 14-7 game. But really important for South Alabama to respond, and they did. Second rushing touchdown from Kentrell Bullock. That's why it's a 21-7 ball game right now.
Yeah, as you look at the stats, I mean, it's been really all South Alabama dominating in the time of possession, dominating in total yards as well. But when you look at the rush yards, 142. Kentrell Bullock already has 100 yards on the day. But 22 minutes of possession, that's 48 plays on offense for South Alabama, only 23 for Southern Miss.
But Southern Mississippi has the ball when we get back to start the third quarter. So stay with us. We're back to Mobile after this. It's 21-7 Jags, but the Golden Eagles will have first crack at it in the third. And we're back to Hancock-Whitney Stadium as the kick sails into the end zone. Here's a look at the historic turnaround that Southern Mississippi has done. FBS teams since 2000 to go from 1-11 or worse to over 700. Only 3 teams. Look at that. Southern Miss, Fresno State did it in 17-18. Miami, Ohio did it in 10-11. Percentage of chance of doing that? Not very good, by the way. You've had 14 teams that have gone 7+ wins. 10 teams that have gone 8+ wins, and that's what Southern Mississippi is trying to do now, get win number 8. They've got some work to do. They'll have it at the 25-yard line, though, 1st and 10 as we start this third quarter. Interesting to see what Coach Huff said in the halftime locker room. See if we see any kind of changes. We've had Braylon Braxton in at quarterback the entire time. No sign so far of Landry Liddy. Braxton has been the starter most of the way, but has been banged up, and it was a question as to whether he would play. He didn't play last week as that goes off the receiver, intercepted, going the other way. Touchdown, South Alabama. Cole Blaylock.
Rolling on the field is a touchdown.
He was going for Carl Chester and bounces into the air. Cole Blaylock was sitting there waiting. And the local product scores the touchdown for the Jags.
That's a great story right there, because that young man played right down the street at UMS Wright and has just been such a great player. And as he got the opportunity today and the ball pops up, Cole Blaylock right on, you see the love from his teammates.
The rolling on the field was an interception for a touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Yeah, and if this gets overturned, you talk about some sad folks in this stadium. They had a camera on his mom. She's probably the first one down there. But you can see the love that they have for that young man as his whole team came around to congratulate him. And we'll see if he steps out as he gets down the sideline right here. But a great play, a great break on the ball there by Cole Blaylock.
I thought for sure he got inside the pylon. It was tough to tell that he'd stay inbounds across the way, but that's what the officials will be reviewing here. But can you imagine that kind of start for South Alabama in the second half if this stands?
Huge.
I mean, either way, it's going to be South Alabama football deep in Southern Miss territory, worst case scenario, which you just certainly don't want to take a touchdown off the board. Let's take a look at it. So he appears to be just fine everywhere. Now, did he? He may have stepped out at about the 2. That's what they're going to look at. Just before I think he got inside the pylon, but did he step out prior to? Is Cole Blaylock saying hi to his family? He's a fun young man to be around.
His sister's a volleyball player over at University of Mobile, and they've had a pretty good season as well. A lot of athletes in that family. We'll get a closer look of it right here as Cole comes down.
He's good there. Oh, yeah. I think he's out at the 2.
He's going to be out about the 2, and it's going to break a lot of folks' heart in the local community.
But you know, he did play offense
effort
in high school, so do you let him run one and try to see if he can get in the end zone?
He's still getting the hugs, but he's fixing to get the bad news here in a minute. You enjoy the love while you can, Cole, because this one's coming back. And I mean, the good thing for Cole is I'm 1 for 22 on reviews this but yeah.
So I believe they're going to overturn this. We'll hear from Ted Pitts, our head referee.
After further review, the ball carrier touched the pylon, which killed the ball short of the goal line. So the ball will be placed at the half-yard line, South Alabama, 1st and goal.
So what they're saying is when he hit the pylon, the ball was not across the goal line. So I thought he stepped out of bounds at the 2, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I did too.
So actually, that gives South Alabama about a yard and a half.
I thought that step was clearly out.
But yeah, so the ball was not across the plane when he hit the pylon. So it'll be 1st and goal inside the 1. Yeah. Still a great play by Cole Blaylock in that South Alabama defense.
He almost went full Karate Kid on the pylon as he came in too. But unfortunately for Cole, just ball not in, but doesn't take anything away from the interception and a great play.
It'll be Kentrell Bullock sitting aside Bishop Davenport. 1st and goal inside the 1. Bullock doesn't get there. Mathis Haygood was the first one to meet him in the hole. It's 2nd and goal.
Yeah, also Isaiah Gibson in there as well with the push for Southern Miss.
Now, South Alabama fans may be having PTSD here. Against Louisiana a couple of weeks ago, they were inside the 1, had a couple of cracks at it and couldn't get in. We'll see if fortunes change here. 2nd down. Bishop, he'll take it himself. Spins. Did he break the plane? Yes, he did. Touchdown, South Alabama. The initial hit had him short, but Bishop continues to work his legs, spins in, and the interception pays off in the form of a Bishop Davenport rushing touchdown. And it's 27-7 South Alabama.
Boy, to the naked eye right there, as I was watching that play kind of the start, I thought for a second South was going to get a procedure penalty, no call, and Davenport able to kind of twist his way into the end zone. I thought somebody was going forward right there, and you had 2 guys moving, but I guess not. The official saw it better than I did. And
well, they'll always look just to make sure on any scoring play that he got in. I thought that one was fairly clear, although Ted Pitts doing his job to make sure that everything was above board. Now Pitts will go over toward the Southern Miss sideline and say something.
The ruling of a touchdown is under further review.
So they got to review every play anyway, every touchdown specifically. They'll go take a look at it. The South Alabama fans not too happy about it. He was certainly stopped short on the first hit, but I don't think he went down, and Davenport continued to spin, and you can see him telling Anthony Eager and his teammates down there that that's Zach Pyron, number 8, backup quarterback, saying, no, I got hit, but then spun in. So the ruling on the field is a touchdown too, and that could factor into this thing. If it stands, that's the 8th rushing touchdown for Bishop this year. And South Alabama would have 4 touchdowns all on the ground. So stop there. But where was he when his behind hit the turf?
yeah, it looks like his behind hits the turf right around the goal line, and his body may be over it by that point.
So they'll take a good long look at it as we start the 3rd quarter. It's either a touchdown South Alabama or 27-7 with an extra point coming.
You'll see Chris Jones come up in the hole. Boy, it looks like his body's
At the further
across.
review, the ruling is upheld.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
It is a touchdown. So South Alabama does indeed get another rushing touchdown. This one from Bishop Davenport. 27-7, and here comes Davis Little for the extra point.
When you brought up the last goal line stand that happened, I thought we were going to do the old announcer's jinx like you do when we call basketball games together. The free throws were going to go awry, but South able to stick that one in right there.
So Davis Little 3 for 3 on PATs today. And that one slides through the right upright and makes it 28-7. So a great start by South Alabama. The pick leads to the points. Jags on top by 3 touchdowns. That went a whole yard. Bishop Davenport cashes it in for the rushing touchdown, and South Alabama starts the third quarter like they ended the second. They're on top now 28-7 as Southern Mississippi desperately trying to get something to go right. Braxton trying to get Chester on a little swing pass. It was popped up into the air, and the Jags returned it to the 1. And now we'll see maybe the return game can start things the right way for Southern Miss. And no, not going to happen. At the 15-yard line, that was Micah Davis, who was swallowed up very quickly by the South Alabama return team.
I go back, Pat, to right there towards the end of the second quarter when South gets the big hit on the sideline by Dallas Young that forces the field goal attempt that they miss. And then the momentum that's kind of just carried over since then. I mean, South defense has just been playing so tough. You can tell that Braylon Braxton's still limited. We haven't seen him take off and run any at all so far today. But take nothing away from South and that defense and how well they've been playing.
It's Mike Harris on the defense being tended to on the sideline. We'll check on that as Pittman is stood up behind the line of scrimmage. Swung it out to him, and that's Blaine Myrick, the Fairhope native from across the bay, who goes from his linebacker position, just shadows the running back, and drops him for a loss.
Just a lot of local kids making big time plays in this game today. Drop right there.
Just lost the football. He was trying to fake it to Pittman, and then Braxton just lost the handle. And boy, the woes just continue to pile up for Southern Mississippi. Now they face a 3rd down and 16 at their own 11.
And if you don't believe in momentum and stuff like that, just watch football for a little while and it'll teach you. But Pittman just got a little too close right there to Braxton and knocks the ball out of his hands, and he's just able to, luckily for Southern Miss, fall on it.
Got to get to the 27-yard line. 3rd down, they'll try to do it on the ground. Pittman doesn't get much. 17-yard line before Blaine Myrick gets his 2nd tackle of this series. And Southern Mississippi, after throwing the interception on their first drive of the 3rd quarter, gets a 3-and-out on their 2nd drive.
Boy, so that now is a total. They had 23 offensive plays on the entire first half. Only had 4 so far, 5 now. And
shanked punt on top of that. Does get a decent roll, but will roll dead at about the 43-yard line. So once again, good field position for South Alabama. The offense will come back on the field after this timeout. 12:34 to go in the 3rd. Jags up 28-7, and they're looking for more. The Glen Sebastian Nature Trails on the campus of South Alabama. Beautiful sights, but be aware, there are gators around. This one's just a small one comparatively. Back in August, they found one that was between 10 and 11 feet and 500 plus pounds. This one not as big, but I will look at it. There's a bridge overlooking this pond. I'll look at it from the bridge.
I'll look at it from the comfort of the telecast
you're
booth
stay
right
up
here.
in the booth, right?
You know what? I mean, those things have a great burst of speed. I do not, Pat.
This is true. You know, you've got pickleball incidents that have hurt your leg.
I've been put on the IR for a little while.
1st and 10, South Alabama at their own 42-yard line. Keenan Phillips is the setback, and he'll get the call, trying to squirt through the left side, and he does. Phillips, I thought he was going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, but bowls his way for 5 up to the 47. Jaden McKinney finally brings him down, but now South Alabama, no substitutes. They'll go tempo. 2nd and 5. Quick hitter to Jeremy Scott. Scott trying to keep his balance, gets the first down into Southern Miss territory at the 46.
It's good coverage right there. Moten again, just right up on it, but South's going to pick up the first down, no extra yards.
And so once again in Golden Eagle territory. Bishop pulls it back across the middle, wide open. He's got a receiver, Jeremy Scott, and Scott down to the 25-yard line before Corey Myrick gets his shoe and his ankle. But another catch by Jeremy Scott. That's his 4th. And now South Alabama knocking on the door again.
Yeah, Scott trying to get in formation, put his shoe on. Now he's just going to toss his shoe and run this one.
Here's the near side receiver. They will go on the ground, and across the 20 to the 19 goes Keenan Phillips.
Now he's going to sub out and get that shoe back on. But smart play right there. He knows it looked like they had two calls back to back, so he knew it was going to go back to the run. So all he's got to do is get in formation, tosses the shoe to the sideline, lets them run the play, and then gets the sub in after that, so it doesn't give Southern Miss time to sub out as well.
20 first downs for South Alabama, only 5 for Southern Miss. And the Jags inside the red zone, 2nd down and 5. And now Phillips trying to get first down number 21, and he does, down to the 14.
As you kind of look at this game at 28-7 for South Alabama. I mean, this is going to be their, 4th trip into the red zone. Southern Miss is yet to be in the red zone today.
Phillips with a short gain. Chris Jones there for the stop. And again, the Jags, well, now they will substitute, so that'll give Southern Mississippi a chance to put some other Golden Eagles into the lineup. It's a gain of 3, so it's 2nd down and 7. Look at the rush yards, 160 to 9. Now, some of that because of sacks. But I'll tell you what, this has been a game dominated by the 3 and 7 South Alabama Jaguars. Now a whistle, and it looks like he is at a timeout.
Yeah, Southern Miss just couldn't get personnel the way they wanted it, so they're going to finally have to call timeout.
So that's the first timeout of the second half by Coach Huff and Southern Mississippi. Remember, they had to call 2 in the first quarter when they were a bit unorganized on a couple of different things. And with exactly 10 minutes to go in the third, it's South Alabama total offense 336 to 113. This has been quite a performance by a South Alabama offense who at times has looked phenomenal and then at times had trouble picking up a yard.
Well, you and I, you said something in the first half, and we talked about it a little bit, but when South can control those turnovers and also those penalty yards, and we really haven't seen them today, and they're a completely different team, and I give a lot of that credit to the offense and defensive line of scrimmage. I mean, they've kind of owned both of those today, and it's really led to that. And when you get 25 minutes of possession time to their 9.5, boy, good things are going to happen.
56 plays for South, 27 plays so far for Southern Miss. And we'll pick it back up 2nd and 7. Ball's on the Southern Miss 11-yard line. Kentrell Bullock will check back in as Anthony Eager goes in motion. And it'll be Bullock right up the middle. He'll pull his way down to about the 7-yard line. should bring up about a 3rd and 3. Jags have to get inside the 5 to the 4. Now remember, on the very first drive of the game, going the opposite way, South Alabama got inside the 5 but couldn't convert on 4th down, and they were turned away with no points.
And that time they kind of go back to the play that we saw Bullock score on in the 2nd quarter, but Southern Miss ready for it. Stopped him short there as he picks up that 3rd down.
It'll be Bishop calling his own number. He's got room along the right side. Bishop Davenport rushing touchdown number 2 for number 4. Bishop Davenport had the right side wide open, cuts it inside, and still gets into the end zone. And it's 34-7 South Alabama. My goodness.
Well, you see, he's being led around the corner by big Asher Hale. Can't get it because they kept trying to string it out, and Asher Hale's trying to push the block out. He's 6'5", 305, the sophomore from St. Paul's in Mobile.
And he didn't make contact with anybody.
No, but he's just a big presence enough to keep pushing it out that Davenport's able to cut it back in and score.
So 2nd rushing touchdown for Bishop Davenport, and the Jags in control, 35-7, 9 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. This is a look at the 2019 and the 2020 Alabama coaching staff. Recognize those two guys, don't you? Charles Huff and Major Applewhite. Of course, Alabama had about 2,000 head coaches or 2,000 coaches on that staff, but I asked Coach Huff earlier in the week, what kind of interaction did you have with Major Applewhite when you two were on the Alabama staff together? And he actually said Major was a big influence on him because he was becoming a head coach. And of course, Major had head coaching experience at Houston. And so Charles Huff said he leaned a lot on Major's advice on how to be a head coach. It went on and obviously has been very successful. Won the Sun Belt Conference Championship at Marshall, and now has his Southern Mississippi Golden Eagles at 7-3. But boy, do they have a hill to climb to get to 8-3 today.
Yeah, they really do. And I tell you one thing, if you go back and look at that picture, you start circling people.
You're right.
The circle of influence from that Saban era has just been amazing. But yeah, I mean, Coach Huff had just great things to say about his interactions with Applewhite and how they work together on that offensive staff. And it's just fun to see those coaches get chances and do, you know, what Coach Huff and Coach Applewhite have been able to do is pressure again by South Alabama.
And they made Braxton overthrow his intended receiver, Jeffrey Pittman. Once again, it was South Alabama just pinning their ears back. R.J. Moss, who already has a sack today, was all over Braylon Braxton, made him flush out to his left, overthrew his intended receiver. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Braxton now 9 of 15 on the day.
Yeah, you can just tell Braxton's not comfortable back there. And then when you put that pressure on him, it's leading to some errant throws, but it's all that defensive front of South Alabama.
2nd and 10. Better protection this time. And pitch and catch. First down, Southern Mississippi. Elijah Metcalf able to haul that one in. It's the 2nd catch for Metcalf. His first went for 7. This one goes for about 20. And it moves the sticks for Southern Mississippi.
But there you go. You can see the arm strength there, Pat. I mean, he doesn't have the pressure, able to step into that throw and just put some zip on it 15, 20 yards down the field. But all of a sudden, Blaine Myrick gets back in. But somehow Braxton able to dump that ball off.
Oh, my goodness. And how about Pittman lowering his shoulder and getting a positive play out of that thing? Blaine Myrick, I think he thought he had Braxton in the grasp and kind of took it easy on him a little bit. But Braxton's a big kid. He's 6'2", 230 pounds. You're not going to bring him down with a little swing of the arms, and he was able to deliver it to Pittman, who then delivered a shot. Yes. 2nd down, they'll throw long pitch and catch. Braylon Brown is the receiver just short of the 50-yard line.
Well, now they're going to mark him all the way across to the 49 and give him the first down.
Oh, wow. I thought he was
Major's kind of up there asking, wait a minute. He curled that thing back around, but
officials are going to stop it.
The field was a first down. The previous play is under further review.
So they'll take a look at it. I thought it was on the other side of the 50. Now,
well, he curled up. I mean, his route, he curled up right around the 49 where the 48, 49 where the ball is, but he had to come back to it a little bit. So and he came back on his own fruition. He wasn't pushed. You see what I did right there? I used a big word, proper context. And I was waiting for some kudos, but you know he does. He comes back, and it's not a defender that pushed him off of it. I think when he came back, his momentum takes him back to the 50. I don't know if you give him forward progress all the way out, so we'll see it here.
So he did catch it at the 48-yard line on the South Alabama side, but is that where possession was established?
Yeah, he was working himself back. I mean, I think if anything, he may have got right at the nose of the 50, but I don't think it's any closer than that. But again, one for 23, maybe 2 for 24.
The other thing too, if they overturn this thing, they've already moved the sticks for a 1st and 10 at the South Alabama 48-yard line. So if you're going to overturn it,
at further review, the receiver was short of the line to gain. The ball will be placed at the 50-yard line.
So now put the sticks back where they were supposed to go. And that's why, if you've ever been on a sideline, they're always marking where plays were. And so the chain crew knows exactly where they were supposed to go. So the 49-yard line for South Alabama, make it the 48, it looks like now, is the first down marker. So they'll be short. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 at midfield. Now this is clearly, we're getting into 4-down territory here for Southern Mississippi, down 35-7.
35-7, yeah.
Play calling here for Blake Anderson, the offensive coordinator. 2 plays to get 2 yards here. 3rd down. Braxton out of the shotgun. That was Kyron Heath, who sprinted out toward the Southern Mississippi sideline to see what South Alabama would do. Play clock still at 10, so you got time.
The funny thing, nobody went with him at first, and now South adjusts and put a 3rd defender out.
Run it right side, and Pittman able to bowl his way down to about the 45-yard line. That'll move the sticks. First down. The 7th first down of the night for Southern Mississippi. They'll give him officially the 46-yard line. Dalton Hughes, the guy that made the stop. Southern Miss going quickly. And what a move. Good closing speed by Nehemiah Chandler. He's one of the best of those PBUs, and Nehemiah Chandler, that's number 12 for pass breakups this year.
Yeah, you just see it. Nehemiah Chandler sitting on that route. He saw it, and as soon as he saw the receiver break on it, Nehemiah Chandler breaks on it as well. Gets up there and gets his hands on the ball. But that's one of those ones you go back to. You kind of put it in the back seat. You do a little pump fake and go and see if Chandler bites on it.
Jalen Carter is the guy in the backfield. They won't go to him. Instead, the pass thrown behind Tyshawn Chapman. Chapman was on the deep slant and was open, but Braxton just misfired.
Boy, if he gets him in stride, Pat, he may still be running to the end zone right there, because the way the defense was set up, there was no help in the middle of the field, and that ball could be in the end zone right now. Just an errant pass from Braxton behind his receiver, Chapman.
So 3rd down and 10. Braxton now 12 of 20, 129 yards, and the 1 touchdown pass. The catch is made by Carter, but he stacked up at about the 42-yard line. Easier to say who wasn't involved in the South Alabama tackle is Bryant Dillard. Among the guys getting up off that pile, Steven Johnson, Christopher Wallace Jr., everybody stopping Jalen Carter short, and it'll be 4th down and 6. Southern Mississippi 14 of 20 on 4th down this season. They've got to get to the 36-yard line. Metcalf in motion far side. And once again, they'll stop and check with the sidelines. Play clock at 6, now at 5. Got to make a decision here. And here they go across the middle. Flags fly, as I think he's short to begin with. It was Metcalf on the receiving end. But let's see what the flag is and where the spot is as well.
It's an umpire. Usually a hold right there. We'll see what the call is, but I'm with you. I think it's about a half-yard short if they...
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense. That 15-yard penalty be added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So the Jags have really avoided the big-time penalties until now, but hands to the face on somebody. I don't want to name the guilty party because I'm not 100% sure who it was. Neither apparently was the official because he didn't name anybody, but it'll be 1st down Southern Miss as they're hovering at the 22-yard line.
2 replays. I didn't see it at all right there in the middle.
But it'll be Southern Miss with the 1st down via the penalty. And the Golden Eagles may get into the red zone for the first time today. Jalen Carter, once again, the running back. He's from Valdosta, Georgia. Wide receiver in high school. Now in the running back position here, Major Applewhite not happy with the call, but the call stands, and here we go, 1st and 10, Golden Eagles. Braxton, plenty of time. I will go to his receiver. Dragging across was Kyron Heath. And he'll get a modest gain as Dalton Hughes, the guy to push him out of bounds. They'll give him maybe 2.
A much better job by that offensive line that time. I mean, Braxton probably went through about 3 or 4 different receivers in his progression and finally had to go to about his last option on the check down as he found the receiver coming all the way across for a really short gain. But good job by the offensive line to give him time to go through that progression.
Now Carter carries down to about the 15-yard line. We'll make it officially the 16. So finally, Southern Miss inside the red zone at the 5:25 mark here in the 3rd quarter. They're facing a 3rd down and 4 at the 16. And now everybody moved.
Well, like you say, if you're going to do it, get your money's worth. And about 3 or 4 of them got their money's worth on that one right there, Pat.
And Ted Pitts didn't narrow it down. False start, offensive line. That was everybody.
I love those like old NFL bloopers where they go to the official and, you know,
Giving
my
him the
favorite one's
business?
giving the business.
Yes,
That's
absolutely.
my favorite. But then I love the one of everybody but the center. Everybody but the center moved.
Yeah, I saw 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 moving before the snap. So 3rd down and 9. Braxton will dump it off to Carter. Carter getting close to the 1st down. He'll be shy, but about 2 yards shy. And so a workable 4th down here for Southern Mississippi inside the 15 to the 14.
Yeah, but that was a good play call for what they had because South Alabama was bringing the pressure. You saw Blaine Myrick coming in on the blitz. I think Cole Blaylock was coming as well. And they were able to dump that one out on the outside on the screen, pick up some nice positive yardage to make it 4th and manageable.
4th and 2. Ball sits at the 14-yard line. Pittman back in as the running back, and they'll toss it to him. And it's going to be close as Brian Dillard was there trying to string it out, but I believe he got the 1st down.
Boy, it is close.
Yep, they're going to say yes. He indeed did get there.
Right dead on the spot. Oof.
He stretched the ball out toward the end. That probably helped his cause. So now 1st and 10, Southern Mississippi, just outside the 10-yard line. Braxton to Pittman, and Pittman will get to about the 11. Dallas Young, he had a big hit earlier today, and he swallows up Pittman for a gain of about 1.
That's a great open field tackle because that's so hard when you're coming full speed like that and Pittman puts his foot in the ground. He's going to try to cut that back to the middle, let Dallas Young run right past him, but Young able to keep his feet and bring Pittman down for a 1-yard gain.
That's a 6th catch for Pittman today. And now he'll run off the left side, gets to the 1-yard line, 1st down. It looked like everybody was just kind of standing around for a second, and then Pittman kind of got lost in translation there and then sees a wide open spot. Now they'll go tempo. Pittman diving toward the goal line. Did not get there. That was Darius McKenzie. Started the final 8 games for the Jags last year. McKenzie holds him short of the goal line. Here goes Southern Mississippi again. Quick tempo. And again it's Pittman. And Pittman lunging for the goal line. This time he gets there. Jeffrey Pittman, his 18th
touchdown.
his 8th
touchdown. Goal line, touchdown.
8th touchdown of the season. And Southern Miss back on the board, 1st time here in the 2nd half.
We'll see if all of them are reviewed. We'll see if this one gets any extra attention. I didn't think initially he got in, but we'll see if he. Boy, it's close, Pat. It's hard to see because when his shoulder comes down, where's the ball?
Well, the ball did look like it came loose as well. It doesn't look like they're going to.
Well, they're still holding it up.
Yeah.
But he's waiting for the buzz down, or either the confirmation or the buzz.
And he's pointing at the video board saying, take a look at it.
Major's like, there's a big screen. We paid a lot of money for that. Y'all take a look at it. And look, he goes, I'll even bring your stuff out over here for you. Major's trying to help him out. But he's still not getting the buzz down that it's a good touchdown yet. So we'll see, but you'll see. And because South has their hands on the ball, and it looks like they're pulling it back. It looks like McKenzie's got his hands on it because the ball even comes out late. But you'll watch, if you watch right here, watch McKenzie come in, and when he does try to make the tackle, he wraps the ball up and he's pulling the ball backwards.
Well, now,
yeah, now Major's
they're going to look at it.
Well,
the previous play was ruled a touchdown on the field. Previous plays under further review.
Well, that took a long time to say we're going to look at it.
Well, I think they said they may have got the nod, and then Major finally just, said, wait a minute. Because if you really look at this, I really think McKenzie comes in, and when he makes the initial hit, he also wraps up on the ball. So he's pulling the ball backwards. And as Pittman's going into the end zone, his shoulder's being turned because McKenzie's got the ball and pulling it the other way.
But remember, you have to have a definitive look, though.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So
watch right here. He grabs the ball, and he's turning. So the ball's almost behind him.
And the ball did come loose as well. Did the ball come? That's another thing they've got to consider. Did the ball come loose before he crossed the plane? And did he cross the plane in the first place?
I don't think the only thing I see crossing the plane is his head, maybe the corner of his shoulder pad on his right side. Everything else seems to be out. But I think the problem's going to be there's really not a look right down the line. And I think that goes against South Alabama. But boy, it just...
At the further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Touchdown.
So again, got to have that definitive look right down the line. I don't think they had it. And so it will be touchdown Southern Mississippi. And they'll get a chance to kick the extra point here and try to make it 35-14. As Creighton Williams, or Wilbanks, I should say. Second time we've seen him today. He's perfect on extra points this season. And he'll stay that way. And so it is 35-14, 3 minutes, 4 seconds to go in this third quarter. But that was a big touchdown, if nothing else, for Southern Mississippi, just to get a little momentum back.
Well, and I think the difference there, Pat, too, is you saw some plays where that offensive line started giving Braxton a little time that he could work out there. I mean, they were getting some quick passes out to the flat. Another look at it here. They were getting some passes out to the flat, but you know, there were a couple times that Braxton actually did have a chance to step into some throws downfield and give Southern Miss a little bit of room to operate in.
Well, it was a 17-play, 75-yard drive. Took 6 minutes, 16 seconds off the clock. It does cut into the South Alabama lead, 35-14. Jeffrey Pittman into the end zone. Now, last time Southern Mississippi scored, South Alabama was able to answer on the other end in the second quarter. But don't count out Southern Mississippi just yet. You get a stop here. You know, you're 7-3 for a reason. You know how to win.
Number 29 for Southern Miss is reporting is 29.
So you got a long way to go here. 18 minutes, 4 seconds before this thing hits all zeros. And they'll fair catch it at the 4-yard line, and that'll bring the ball out for South Alabama. As the Jags offensively today, 174 yards through the air, 173 yards on the ground. I would call that pretty balanced.
Yeah, it's pretty balanced. And I mean, look at on the flip side of that last possession for Southern Miss actually got them on the positive sides for rush yards. Now they have 31. So, yeah, that's a very balanced attack, as they would like to say.
So 1st and 10 for South Alabama. Anthony Eager in motion. Kentrell Bullock is the running back, and he swings it up the middle for a gain of about 3. Looked like a bigger hole, but it closed pretty quickly. As Southern Miss, Garrett Ponder able to have some closing speed and stop Kentrell for a short gain. They'll give him 3, make it 2nd down and 7. Mentioned in this series that South Alabama has never lost to Southern Miss. The Golden Eagles playing for a conference championship. Could come down to that game against Troy next week. Bullock again stood up at about the 31-yard line. Jamon Tapp, part of the posse that brings him down. And so it's 3rd down and 4. One thing, too, for Major Applewhite in South Alabama, you've got to be careful not to let your foot off the gas here as well. This is a very dangerous Southern Mississippi team. And South has been very aggressive offensively. And you don't want to get out of that this early. 3rd down and 4. Got to get to the 35-yard line. They'll keep it on the ground. Bullock, and not going to get there. Got to the 34-yard line, but once again, Joseph Harper was the guy that was the brick wall here. And my goodness, is South Alabama going to go for this here? Are they trying to draw Southern Miss offside? No, they're going. And Bullock got to get to the 35, and I think he did.
I mean, by the hair of his chinny chin, he did, but he got it. And that was just a nice job. Just a little bit of a push by his offensive line, but that's all he needed was a little bit of a push. And
Well, I said stay aggressive, and that's aggressive. At your own 34-yard line on 4th down, you go for it. Second successful 4th down conversion for the Jags today. That'll keep the clock rolling just north of a minute here in the 3rd quarter. Eager in motion, still keeping it on the ground. Bullock finds a way to get 3 yards up to the 38-yard line.
I keep looking at that screen, accepting that alligator come back across it. And then my mind's going to where did it come from to get there? You know,
your backyard.
Yeah, that's you know, there's not those things. It is amazing where they can show up. But South Alabama with a nice 1st down run right there to get them about 3 yards, and now just kind of taking their time. They want to play probably one more play before they let this quarter run out.
Keenan Phillips is the running back this time. He gets the call. Doesn't get much, maybe 1 up to the 39-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and 6, and you would assume that South Alabama will let this one roll. And should they do that, that will bring a 3rd quarter to an end, as Southern Mississippi did get on the scoreboard. Jags still outscored them in the 3rd quarter, and we've played 3. It's South Alabama 35, Southern Mississippi 14. There's your alligator coming at you in Mobile, Alabama. 4th quarter is next. The spotter here in the booth at Hancock Whitney Stadium, and as we get ready to start the 4th quarter, this has been all South Alabama so far, yet you still, if you're a South Alabama fan, don't have that easy feeling of this thing's over.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, the Southern Miss team can come up and surprise you at any time, and you kind of look at the scoring by quarter, Southern Miss is really 82 points so far in the fourth quarter this year. And as South Alabama, you want to control this ball right here in this opening possession as long as you can.
Davenport along the right side. Bishop on 3rd down and 6, doesn't get anywhere close to it. Chris Jones able to come up with a stop. 4th down, and the aggressive tone will stop at 4th and 4. So they went for it deep in their own territory at 4th and 1. But for the second time tonight, they'll bring on Alexi Polkinen, and Micah Davis will settle in at about the 18-yard line. Anthony Zaccaro, longtime long snapper, and a great guy, playing his final home game here at South Alabama. Perfect snap to him, and Alexi puts the toe into it, and another good high hanging punt. That'll check up at about the 18-yard line, and Zaccaro will down it at about the 20. So that's where Braylon Braxton and Southern Mississippi will start with 14:10 to play. Golden Eagles need some points, but they have the ball when we get back. Home game for South Alabama. They had 18 seniors today. Devin Foyson among them. He's wearing that honorary number 5 jersey. Many times that he's done that. There's Zaccaro. And had a lot of guys that have meant a lot to the South Alabama football program. Ed Smith, Kentrell Bullock, all saying their goodbyes. There's Christopher Wallace, the local product. And South Alabama will have one more game. They'll play at Texas State next week, 2 o'clock in San Marcos. That'll be the finale for Texas State in the Sun Belt. They're going to go to the Pac 10, 12, 8, 6, whatever that conference turns out to be.
Pac 6, 7.
Yeah, please don't do that. Okay. 1st and 10. Southern Miss. Braxton trying to get his receiver too high as he was going for Chester. Defended well by South Alabama. There's Brian Dillard once again in coverage. Little play fake. IBK Mafi was the guy trying to apply the pressure, but just a bit off target. And it's 2nd down and 10 as Matt Jones will report in as the Southern Mississippi running back. They'll fake it to him. Braxton again will throw deep this time, and he's got Chester, and Chester makes the catch at the South Alabama 35-yard line. Carl Chester, who had the catch on the touchdown in the first half, gets the long pass. They'll officially call it the 36-yard line. But Southern Miss offensively starting to roll just a bit. And they got plenty of time still to work with. 1st and 10 inside Jags territory. They'll go quickly. Braxton off the intended receiver. He was pressured, was Braxton. He was trying to get it to Matt Jones out of the backfield. Couldn't get there, but here's a look at that long pass.
Watch how Chester uses his body right there. He does a good job. He knows the defender's coming, but he does a really good job of using his body and his length to go up and get that pass for his quarterback.
And it was good for a 44-yard completion. But after the incompletion, now 2nd down and 10. They'll stay to the air. Dodges pressure. Now Braxton throwing again for a receiver toward the end zone. Had 2 in the area, and it falls in between. And now
you're going to get a late hit.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 91. It's a 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So Nathan Jennings is the guy that got to Braxton late. And that'll move the chains once again for Southern Mississippi. So Braxton was under pressure, but that's the second 15-yard penalty the Jags have had here in the 2nd half. Let's see where the hit was at the end of this play. It went up high. That's what it is. You go up high. Anything above the head and neck.
And it was actually Smiley. It was Smiley on that. It wasn't Jennings. That I think he said the number wrong. It was number 90, not 91.
So 1st and 10. Braxton has his receiver who's driven back. That's Kyron Heath who makes the catch, but Ty Goodwill was step for step with him. They'll give him 1, make it 2nd down and 9.
Goodwill with great closing speed right there to come up on that route and only give up 1 yard. Nice open field tackle. So many times you see guys want to come up and make the big hit and not wrap up, and Ty Goodwill does both, and that results in a 1-yard gain for Southern Miss.
Under 13 minutes to play. Southern Miss needing some points. They're getting close to the red zone. They'll throw into the end zone, and Sales over Chester, incomplete. There was good coverage there by Dillard. So I think that was one of those passes for Braxton. He's a smart quarterback, and you know you've got time running out. You don't have any receivers, so just airmail it to where nobody can get to it. Live to play another play, and you've got 3rd and 9.
And you know he wants so bad to be able to have that ability to just tuck that thing and take off. But just not able to do it today. And
they'll do a little bubble screen, and stopped is Elijah Metcalf. Blaine Myrick was the guy that cleaned it up, but they were trying to bubble screen to the right side and catch South Alabama napping. No luck. Loss of 1. It's 4th down and 10. And Tyler Thomas among the guys that made the stop as well. So 4th down here. Golden Eagles have to get to the 11. Braxton, right side, knockdown. At the line of scrimmage, that was R.J. Moss, who got the big paws up there, knocks it away, and it's a turnover on down. South Alabama will take over offensively.
R.J. Moss does a really good job of just getting a little bit of a push and then throwing his hands up. And there's the play before, South Alabama being able to jump that route. Like you said, Blaine Myrick coming in to clean it up for South Alabama, but then the big 4th down stop and the knockdown by Moss.
So there's Devin Boyson. He's had 7 catches today, 36 yards. And every time he's been targeted, they've gotten it to him. As there's a look at Moss knocking it down on that 4th down play. So 1st down and 10 for South Alabama, as Keenan Phillips is the running back. And he will get the call and try to work his way for a couple of positive yards, maybe 2. 2nd down and 8.
And if you're McCombie right there that's in motion, you turn around and you're supposed to kind of chip the end, and that time it just happens to be Chris Jones that lines up right there. You're not loving that. But he does a good job of just getting a little bit. McCombie does just getting a little bit of a chip block on Jones on that last play.
Eager in motion this time. And it'll be Bishop rolling right, looking for a receiver, and that's the first time that they have missed trying to get it to Devin Boyson. Bishop Davenport, the pass incomplete. That's only his 3rd incompletion of the day.
Well, there were a lot of defenders out there. There were about 4 guys that were over here. I thought he had a receiver that was deep that he may have had a shot at. Boyson kind of in the middle of that cluster of 4, and Davenport just unable to connect with him.
So 3rd down and 8 at the 23-yard line. Nobody scored here in this 4th quarter. We're early on, and they'll swing it near side. And he stopped at about the 28-yard line is Keenan Phillips. So well short of the first down, South Alabama will have to punt it away again.
That's just a good job by Southern Miss getting off the block right there. Foster comes over, he gets off of his block, and a couple other Golden Eagles do as well. And they use that sideline well to force South Alabama out. But another quick possession by South Alabama. They were really winning this time of possession battle, but it is really kind of, they still lead it, but it's evened out a lot more here in this 3rd and 4th quarter.
But if you saw in the background of that shot, you had Major Applewhite kind of put his hands to his face. He's not happy with the fact that the offense has had to punt it away 2 straight times. And now Micah Davis with a gain of about 2 on the punt return. And it'll be Southern Mississippi ball at about their 37-yard line. 10 minutes, 44 seconds to go. Golden Eagles have the ball, needing some points, down 35-14. Well, this happened in the first half. There's a look at John, who won the baby race. The winner gets a lifetime hunting and fishing license in the state of Alabama. They only had to go 5 yards. The winner, I think at the end of the day, John, only went about 4.
Yeah, but look at 4 coming out strong, and then just.
And no, I'm not going to do it.
Done.
No. And well, there's a look at John, who gets the hunting and fishing license. Credit Outdoors, Alabama. Pretty cool, pretty cool event here at Hancock Whitney Stadium. But as soon as the crowd got into it, the baby stopped.
Oh yeah, as soon as they started cheering, you would see kids just pop up and start looking around.
Out of the backfield, that's Robert Briggs. And he will get to the first down at the 49-yard line for Southern Mississippi.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who that is for South, but got rolled up just a little bit.
I think that's Darius McKenzie.
Yeah, McKenzie took some friendly fire to the lower leg right there.
Well, that's you've already got Caleb Dozier, who's out for the season at that linebacker spot. Parker Shattuck is also in that linebacking core. So You don't want Darius McKenzie to go down. Started the final 8 games last year, but Darius out of Ontario, he transferred in from Maine.
Yeah, you'll see it right here. Gets his leg just kind of rolled up on.
Yeah, that was Dalton Hughes who was trying to make the tackle and got up under his teammate, Darius McKenzie, who's able to hobble off. But it'll be first down, Southern Mississippi. By the way, they will host Troy next week. And Troy right now is leading at Georgia State. So assuming these two things stay the same, the winner of the West will be the winner of next week's game, Troy at Southern Miss. They'll face James Madison in the Sun Belt Conference Championship. 1st and 10. They'll hand it off to Briggs again. He'll get across the 50 to the 48. It's a gain of 3, make it 2nd down and 7. Nathan Jennings, the guy that made the stop.
And not a whole lot of room to run right at the middle right there. Good job by that front 4 for South Alabama.
They'll take another shot. There's Chester. Got in front of his defender, but the pass was offline as Cole Blaylock was about a step or 2 behind him, but unable to get it to Chester, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, they had the matchup they wanted because you got the strong safety on your best receiver. Cole Blaylock doing a pretty good job, but he would have had to drop it right over Chapman's shoulder, but Braxton just unable to connect with Chapman on that long throw.
Yeah, he's 21 of 34 on the day. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 3rd down and 7 at the South Alabama 48-yard line. Chapman in motion. They'll throw across the middle. Got the 1st down and more. Hurdling inside the 20 is Elijah Metcalf.
Well, he just curls up right there in front of the defender. It looked like Ty Goodwill that came in, and just unfortunately that time Ty just not able to make the tackle, just kind of goes right past. And
that's the 5th catch for Metcalf. They'll throw to the air again. This time you had Briggs wide open, and Braylon just missed him. That'll bring a 2nd down and 10, but you see Southern Mississippi starting to roll a little bit. That's the Southern Miss that we expected, but is it too little too late? 9:25 to go. Coach Huff will now send in Jalen Carter as the running back. We've seen Pittman, Jones, Briggs, and Carter all in the backfield tonight. 2nd down and 10. Jags rushing 3. Southern Miss will keep it on the ground. There is Carter. Stood up at the 16-yard line, still pushing, may have gotten to the 15. It's a good run there by Carter, who's just a freshman. He'll be about 4 yards shy, bring up a 3rd down and 6. Or 3rd down and 4, I should say.
We're about a hair away from an old-fashioned rugby scrum there, and just finally blew it dead. But all the big guys were gathering on either side to start the push. Stalemate right around the 11.
Got to get to the 11. Braxton rolling to his right, under some pressure, and Braxton, well, the jersey maker did a good job because South Alabama tried to pull him down by the jersey. Couldn't get him. Braxton able to throw it out of the end zone and stay alive for another play.
Yeah, if you're late 70s, early 80s, that's a tearaway right there coming off. But Braxton just somehow, even with the problems he's having with his legs, does a great job of being able to stay upright and throw that one into the back of the end zone, as opposed to losing about, they would have dropped him probably around the 22, 23-yard line.
That was Dominic Wiseman, who really wanted the sack but couldn't get there. So now 4th down and 5. On 4th down today, Southern Miss is 1 of 2. And Braxton will call the timeout. Doesn't like what he sees, and the play clock was down to 2.
It's their 2nd of the half. Medium.
So they'll call their 2nd timeout, and with 8:37 to go, Southern Miss will talk about it. It's 35-14, South Alabama with the lead. Well, there's a look at the student section for South Alabama. It's their final home game of the 2025 season. They've got a 35-14 lead, but Southern Mississippi is inside the 15-yard line. They've got a 4th down and 5 at the 11-yard line. See if the Jags can hang on here or if Southern Mississippi continues to put on the pressure. Jalen Carter, the running back. Jags jumped. They're able to get back in time. So plenty of time on the play clock. We'll see what Coach Huff dials up after the timeout. 4th down. Braxton to the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. What a job by Carl Chester climbing the ladder and getting into the end zone.
A really nice throw there by Braxton as well, because he throws it right between two defenders, but able to jump up and secure that catch right there in the back of the end zone. A really nice pitch and catch right there by Southern Miss.
So here comes Creighton Wilbanks in for the 3rd time today, trying to get the extra point. And Southern Mississippi, we didn't suspect they would go away, and they haven't. 8.5 to go. Trying to cut it to a 2-score game here. Extra point slides inside the right upright, and it's 35-21. And now we mentioned Major Applewhite kind of upset with his offense, and here's why: because that was a great throw, you're right, by Braxton. And then Chester, that's his 2nd touchdown catch of the day. He caught the flea flicker in the first half to put Southern Mississippi on the board. And now Chester caps off the 8-play, 63-yard drive on the 11-yard touchdown pass. And on the day, Chester, he's had a day. 4 catches, 117 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, you had Miller on the coverage, and then Ty Goodwill has help over the top, and they're going to converge right there in the back. But just a perfectly thrown ball, and then a great catch to, like you said, go up the ladder a little bit. And it just kind of splits the defenders. Now we're kind of seeing if we're going to get a onside kick this early or kick it deep. The way that South's offense has kind of been sputtering here the last couple of possessions.
Yeah, I'd say kick it deep.
Yeah, now the bad thing for Southern Miss, you know, you burned some timeouts early as well, so you're down to 1 timeout left in this contest for Southern Miss. South Alabama still has their full complement of 3 timeouts, but so that's going to play a factor in as we kind of play this last 8 minutes and 32 seconds.
So the Golden Eagles to kick it away, down 14 now. That one will sail out of the back of the end zone, and South Alabama will have it at the 25-yard line. Jags outscored Southern Miss 7-0 early. It was 21-7 at halftime, and then South Alabama with a pick and almost a pick 6 to start the 3rd quarter. Cole Blaylock had stepped out at the half-yard line. 2 plays later, the Jags were able to punch it in. But Southern Miss refusing to go away. They've got this ball game within 14 points, and South Alabama, you mentioned it offensively, they haven't done much lately. So Kentrell Bullock is back in. And you got the big boys up front. And it'll be Bullock who gets the call. There was a flag from the field judge way in the back. Not sure if it was an illegal
Substitution
shift.
infraction, defense, 12 players on the field, 5-yard penalty, replay, 1st down.
We've seen a lot of confusion on that Southern Miss sideline tonight. And they did have 12 men. There was some confusion as to who was supposed to be in, who was supposed to be out, and the substitution didn't get off in time. So South will take that and make it a 1st and 5.
Pat, think about this. In the first half, Southern Miss only ran 23 plays to South's 48. As we sit here right now, it's 59-69. They've cut that gap.
There's a big run there by Bullock to get the 1st down. 23, check that, 24 first downs for South Alabama tonight. More importantly for them, it moves the chains and keeps the clock rolling. Under 8 to go with South Alabama trying to preserve that 14-point lead.
And you saw the graphic we talked about earlier about how well that South Alabama running game has worked all year long. And this is where Major Applewhite would love to just see it just continue to churn out those yards, snap this ball with under 5 seconds left on the play clock, and just eat up as much of this time as you possibly can.
They will keep it on the ground. What a job by Bullock to keep his balance, and he is gone. Kentrell Bullock to the house.
Or you can do that.
He was stopped for a loss of about 1 or 2, but put his hand on the ground, kept his balance, and Kentrell Bullock runs the touchdown in, and that may be the dagger here in Mobile.
Boy, I mean, how many times have you seen it where it looks like he's almost stopped and all of a sudden, boom, pops through the hole, and then it's a foot race. And all of a sudden, you think Moten might have a chance at him, but Kentrell Bullock just pulling away, making the most of his senior day here at South Alabama.
64 yards on the touchdown. And now Davis Little on for the extra point. It is on the way. Did he sneak it through? Yes, that was a little closer than he wanted, but it's good. And the Jags now doubling up the Golden Eagles. 7:25 to go in the ball game. It was Kentrell Bullock, his second rushing touchdown of the evening. It was good blocking, but even better balance and more heart from Kentrell Bullock at the end of the day. You know, those ROTC members have had to work out doing the push-ups after South Alabama scores. We've got a 42-21 lead here. As congratulations all around for Kentrell Bullock. 23 carries, 187 yards, 3 touchdowns.
It's nice when you can wheel off 100 in the first half and then come back to second half and throw yourself another 87 to start with, and he, you know, probably not done. Would be nice to seal off a 200-yard day on senior day, as we've had a great day here at Hancock Whitney Stadium. A great day of honoring veterans as well. And you saw the ROTC coming off the field, and they did a great job earlier. A lot of veterans that have been in the house.
Wearing number 20.
And the folks here at South Alabama have done a really nice job of honoring them. We got to see some folks take their oath to the service earlier, right after halftime as well.
We don't get to do what we do without them and their service. All the respect in the world to our men and women in the armed forces. As that one fair caught at about the goal line, so it'll be Southern Mississippi taking over, now down 21 with 7:25 to go. Christoph Caldwell was a little disappointed on that because he wanted to get a hit on a kick return but couldn't get there.
And we talk about that ROTC program. I've had a few folks that I've known that have been through that program, and it's a great program that South has here and around many colleges, and just a great opportunity for those young folks to still get their education, go through ROTC, and then do their service afterwards. And good job of honoring them as well today.
1st and 10, Golden Eagles. Braxton to throw it. He'll come near side, and oh my goodness, taken out is Tyshawn Chapman. You talk about closing speed, you talk about Nehemiah Chandler. And poor Chapman had the bullseye on him. That was a long throw for Braxton to have to make.
In any other game, in Braxton being healthy, he pulls that ball down and takes off running. He's got some room, and he's even coming over to kind of check on him and apologize a little bit. You talk about quarterbacks talking about kind of lead. You know, sometimes you're watching your receivers and you're trying not to put them in a bad situation, and with that bad wheel that Braxton has, he just doesn't have the option to take off, and when he doesn't, he tries to make a long throw all the way across the field. It seemed like it took forever to get over there, and it just gave the defensive back a just 15-yard run and start.
So that'll make it 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line. They'll keep it through the air, and they're going to go deep. He's looking for Davis, and Micah Davis was interfered with. They're going to get Javon Henderson with getting him early, as Micah Davis, the intended receiver, on the long pass.
Deep 2. That's a 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
You know what, Pat, if that's not underthrown a little bit, then I think it's, you know, he's got a chance to get there, but the way he kind of slowed up just a little to try to readjust for the ball, it caused Henderson to just keep kind of going and run right through the receiver. And
well, Javon, you know, pleading his case there, but it was clear.
Yeah,
you know, you've got to sell it, right?
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Do the sell job and see what you can do, but no dice.
If you're a defensive back, you never commit pass interference. You know,
it's always a bad
your
call,
mind.
right?
That's right.
Golden Eagles once again going downfield. They've got a receiver caught. That's Davis Dalton along the sideline. First catch for Davis. He's the redshirt junior out of Madison, Mississippi. And that's a first down, Southern Miss.
That's a beautiful throw as well. I mean, you've got coverage on him, but just a little behind, and Braxton able to throw that over. I mean, you can imagine a healthy Braxton, what a difference this would kind of be if he's able to use his feet and his arms the way he has here in this second half.
That one dropped. He had the receiver, but Metcalf couldn't hang on. Blaine Myrick in coverage. We talked with Coach Huff in the week about whether he was even going to play Braylon Braxton. He said he didn't play last week against Texas State because he just didn't have the reps in practice. The question today coming in was, he's had the reps in practice. How was he going to survive that? Was his knee going to feel okay after all those reps? And clearly he's been the guy today. We haven't seen Liddy at all, but definitely a limited Braylon Braxton today. Second down. Go into the end zone again. Wide open. The catch is made. Touchdown, Micah Davis.
And the defender falls down. I was trying to see who that was over on the far side for South Alabama. He lost his footing right around the 5-yard line. Braxton saw it and just drops one in the corner. And again, we talked about it earlier on the flea flicker. Sometimes that's the hardest throw to make because you see the defender down and you just got to lay one in the corner and let your guy go get it. And Braxton able to do that.
So 6.5 to go. The two teams trade touchdowns again. And now Wilbanks in for the extra point, and it splits the uprights. So 42-28. And now we'll go back to South Alabama on offense. So that was a pretty good drive there, 4 plays for 75 yards. And more importantly, only took 50 seconds off the clock.
That's like I say, we were talking at 8.5, and then all of a sudden South breaks the big play, and then you're thinking, okay, you know, Southern Miss may take some time off the clock. Not really. So we're back to a 14-point game, and we still have 6.5 left. And timeout situation still the same. South with 3 and Southern Miss still with 1. So, you know, they've still got time.
Southern Miss happens to come back and win this game. They're scoreboard watching, looking at Troy, who's up on Georgia State right now, 17-12 in the fourth quarter. If Southern Miss were to win and Troy loses, Golden Eagles would clinch regardless. But if the Golden Eagles lose, Troy wins, then you're coming down to next week at the Rock in Hattiesburg, M.M. Roberts Stadium. They will kick it deep, and it'll go into the end zone. And once again, South Alabama will take over at the 25-yard line. Well, the total yards, it was such a mismatch in the first half. And boy, have those stats flipped just a bit. South Alabama, 438 yards of total offense, 345 to Southern Miss, which is not bad, especially considering where it was around halftime.
Yeah, well, 306 of those in the air. So, I mean, Braxton has had a whale of a second half to get Southern Miss back into this game.
Rushing yards, to say they're heavily in favor of South Alabama would be an understatement. 260 on the ground for the Jags, 39 for Southern Miss. Kentrell Bullock with 187 of those and 3 touchdowns. That's the other number 3 out there, Tywan Ray. You saw him on the sideline. And it's Keenan Phillips who bounces off a tackler. Phillips does a yeoman's job just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Josh Moten finally makes the stop, but the clock will roll with 6:22, 6:21 and counting.
Yeah, Brodarius Lewis had him probably 3 yards back and almost in a bear hug, and somehow just able to get out of that as Phillips and get back to at least the original line of scrimmage. I don't know how he did it.
The Jags will take their time. We've seen this a lot tonight with the linemen stay on the line and then the skilled players huddle up themselves, then break. It's not something we've seen a whole lot this season from South Alabama. Phillips was on the left, now he's on the right. And a little pop pass for South Alabama. That'll keep the clock rolling. Good catch there by Breck Long, the tight end.
I wonder if linemen take offense to you saying as the skill players. They're skilled players.
They're very skilled. And they're a whole lot bigger than us.
Yeah, that's right.
Bigger than me. I don't know if they're bigger
you
than
say
you.
that from up here. Let's see you go down there and say that.
Talk to the linemen, they always say it's like being in a car wreck about 70 times a day. 3rd down and 2 at the 33. Jags need to convert here. It's Bishop pushing his way close to the line to gain. And it's going to depend on the spot. And the ball is loose, picked up going the other way. Are there whistles as they go into the end zone? I think it was blown dead to begin with.
And I think
The run on the
Davenport's
field,
down.
the runner was down. Results of the play is a first down.
And
So there you
Davenport's
go.
taking his helmet off and kind of getting himself resituated.
Well, can you imagine if that had stood?
Yeah.
And let's see if they're going to need to take a review here, but no, they're going to run the clock and we'll play on just north of 5 minutes to go. So Davenport needed to get to the 35. I think he certainly did. Yeah, and I think it was pretty clear he was on the ground, but they are going to take a look at it, I believe. There's some stoppage in play. Haven't seen anything from Ted Pitts yet to say officially what's happening. Southern Miss does have a timeout should they want it.
The ruling on the field, the runner was stopped with forward progress. First down.
Okay. So first down, right?
First down. I keep looking over your shoulder to see if they're going to start the play clock. They haven't yet, but you can see it right there.
I mean, I thought it was pretty clear that he got to the 35.
Yeah.
And then pretty clear that all the hubbub was well after he was on the ground. Now he just did get to the 35.
Oh yeah, it was.
Right, I mean,
it was right on. He was on the nose right there.
And they're still not ready.
We're going to reset the clocks. Please reset the play clock to 40 seconds and the game clock to 5:08. They both will start on my signal.
Yeah, so if you're South Alabama now, you got 40 seconds to let this thing run down to about almost.
There's your math.
Yeah,
4.5.
4.5. A little past 4.5. I was trying to get to about 4:25, maybe a little less than that. But we'll see where South's going to try to let this thing milk it for everything it's worth.
And one thing you got to say about the South Alabama program, they were knocked out of bowl contention in the loss to Louisiana a couple of weeks ago. They go into Monroe last week, go down 14-0 immediately, and never stopped fighting.
Yeah.
And tonight, they came out, no bowl contention on the line, didn't matter. They've come out fighting, and they put 42 on the board. As Keenan Phillips stopped behind the line of scrimmage, loss of 1, it'll bring up 2nd down and 11.
It says a ton about your leadership on this team. I mean, I'm with you, Pat. I mean, you could pack it in early once you lost bowl contention, and then especially as I'm watching that game last week and they went down 14, you're like, how do you come back and respond to this already? Because you don't. I mean, the only thing you're playing for right now is pride, and boy, they showed that pride after going down 14-0 to come back and win this one. And the way they started this one today, just like gangbusters.
Keep it on the ground. They get up across the 35 to the 36, maybe the 37. Bring up a 3rd down and 8 as the clock winds. 3:43 in counting. We still have the 2-minute timeout to go. Southern Miss with 1 timeout to work with. And the way they score offensively, not sure. You really want to convert this if you're South Alabama.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of see where they go here. Maybe that.
I think you got to keep it on the ground, though.
You know what? I wouldn't. It wouldn't kill my feelings at all if you kind of fake that handoff and just a quick little easy throw to the flat. Maybe something simple and conservative, but still give yourself a chance to get in space.
Instead, it'll be Bishop calling his own number. They'll go conservative, which I think is the right call, and now Southern Miss will call the timeout. That's their final timeout with 3 minutes and 6 seconds to go.
Southern Miss.
And I think that's a smart move by Huff
This
as
will be
well.
30 seconds and leak.
Is don't let any more time run off the clock and see if you can either get a blocked punt, punt return, or a quick touchdown. And all of a sudden you still have the 2-minute timeout to work with. So 3 minutes and 6 seconds to go. It's 42-28 South Alabama. Again, the Jags will finish the season in San Marcos next week against Texas State. Southern Mississippi going back home to Hattiesburg, where they'll host the Troy Trojans. And then once again, it'll be Micah Davis back at around his 20-yard line to field
for
this
South
punt
Alabama is
from the Lexi
reporting
Pulpit.
wearing number 20.
So Polkin to punt. There's a look at Davis. He's a dangerous return man. Yeah, I think he's going to get an opportunity here as a low kick, fielded at about the 11, and he does have an opportunity. Davis still on his feet. Davis, 45, and then spun back, but what a run by Micah Davis. He was bottled up at about the 15-yard line and then continued to roll. Now Southern Mississippi, they can get a quick touchdown here and get within one score.
I don't know how he gets out of there. I mean, it is a little low-line drive. But
During the kick, holding, number 12, return team. That
that's a
penalty will be
killer.
enforced from the end of the kick. 1st and 10, Southern Miss.
yeah, that does kind of change everything. They said enforced from the end of the kick, but they're bringing that ball all the way back
it's
down
from the
to
hole.
about
It's
the
from the spot.
Yeah, from the spot of the hold, which is, the spot of the hold is all the way down at the 10-yard line. That's going to push them all the way down to the 5. But how that young man got, I mean, he looks like he's pinned on the sideline and all of a sudden does a little dance and makes a little move and takes off tonight.
So that hold does push Southern Mississippi all the way back to their own 5-yard line. And so they got 95 yards to go. 2 minutes, 50 seconds. No timeouts to work with, but we do have the 2-minute timeout coming up. But remember, the last scoring drive for Southern Miss lasted less than a minute.
Yeah, but you also weren't sitting at the 5-yard line with your back in your own end zone. So it does kind of change things just a little bit.
So the officials, I think, got things ready to go. Ted Pitts waiting on him to give us the go for play. And there it is. So Braxton, 306 yards. He's thrown 3 touchdowns. Pressure in the end zone, a flag in the end zone, and a big hit just outside of the end zone.
I think you're going to get a
Dallas
safety
Young.
on this.
Yes.
If this holding is in the
You're right.
end zone, it's going to be a safety for South Alabama. And let's see what the call is.
Holding, number 75 offense. That penalty is going to be enforced from the previous spot. Replay 1st down.
So it is not in the end zone. Hayes Creel is the guilty party. But you're right, if it was in the end zone, that would have been a safety. Let's see, Creel is on the right side.
How's that
Oh,
not in
my
the end
goodness.
zone? That's 3 yards deep in the end zone.
Oh, my goodness. They call it a hold. And it'll be 1st down and
I think
13.
Major's saying the same thing. Major's all the way down on the 11-yard line trying to call a timeout.
Well, they'll play on. Braxton was in some deep trouble. And yeah, there it goes. It was a late flag as the catch was made by Braylon Brown, but he clearly pushed down the South Alabama defender. And once one flag came in late, then you have about 3 followers to say, yeah, this one's going to be offensive pass interference.
And Nehemiah Chandler got pretty much slung to the ground right around the 42-yard line.
There are 2 fouls on the play, one on the offense, one on the defense. Offside, defense. Offensive pass interference, number 8 offense. Those penalties offset. We'll replay 1st down.
So we'll do 1st and 13 again. as Brown was covered by Chandler, and then as the two mixed up, like you said, about the 45-yard line, there was a solid push-off. I didn't see the offside there.
Get your money's worth.
But you had good backside pressure from South Alabama as Amari Smiley almost got to Braxton in the end zone. Okay, now we're going to have more whistles. Hey, this last 3 minutes has taken about a couple of years off of my life.
That is. Somebody better get the Thanksgiving turkey out of their freezer and start throwing that thing. We may be home just in time.
The ruling on the field was the pass was incomplete, so the clock will start on the snap.
Right.
Please set the game clock to 2:29.
Okay. I think Major's still upset about the about the hold in the end zone call.
Okay. Well, yeah, clock does stop on an incomplete pass. Okay, but we know that. So 2:29 to go now. Whistle. Flags.
Yeah, jump motion on Southern Miss. False start.
Offense. Half the distance to the goal, still first down.
But here are your 1st and 13 at the 3. So that's about a 1-yard penalty, maybe 1.5.
Is there a way to just penalize yourself into a safety without catching?
You can go for a long time. Yeah, there was a lot of people moving well before that play. And so we'll keep it at 2:29. Now we'll make it 1st and 14 at the 2. Braxton dumps it off to his receiver, Briggs, and Briggs has a hole and a first down up to the 22, maybe the 23-yard line.
Boy, Braxton's hurting. Look at him. He is. He looks like me after having my knee scoped about a week ago, kind of that little jump hop, just trying to get around, and you can tell the pain. A little jump pass right there, and I don't know how he got away from pressure right there.
And goes to his receiver along the far sideline, incomplete. He was going for Metcalf, but I think he was going more for survival than anything else because he had somebody coming behind him. But it's almost that Byron Leftwich type of.
It is, and I tell you, if I know I've got a game next week that's for a championship and playing Troy at home, I'm getting him out of there. You know, I mean, you're down 14. It's 2 minutes left. I'd give Liddy a shot and let him, play another day.
Should be the final play before the 2-minute timeout. There was always penalties to talk about, but instead it's a catch. First down, Elijah Metcalf will get it to the 38-yard line, and let's get to the 2-minute timeout. Jags on top, 42-28 in Mobile.
I'm out.
Well, have yourself a day, Kentrell Bullock. On senior day, 23 carries, 187 yards, and 1, 2, 3 touchdowns. That one, 64 yards, his longest of the day. And in terms of all-time career touchdown leaders, he's now third, tied with Xavier Johnson, just behind LaDamian Webb and Kendall Houston. Little pitch and catch for Braxton as he'll get Chester along the near sidelines. Another first down for Southern Mississippi right around midfield. Kentrell Bullock, boy, he's had a day, and he's had a career here at South Alabama.
Young man's just fun to watch run. He's one of those guys that he can run past you, but he can also just duck his shoulder and run flat out over you as well.
Braxton under pressure, swings it near side. That's Carter making one man miss and gets out of bounds. Nice job by Jalen Carter. Ryan Dillard finally brings him out of bounds. Clock stops at 1:45.
Yeah, Hughes has a chance at him, but just one little slight move and Hughes goes running by, and they pick up an extra 4 or 5 yards there.
So Jalen Carter still in the backfield. Southern Mississippi not done yet. They're down 42-28. They'll swing it out to Carter again. Get as much as you can and then get out of bounds. That's what he does. They'll say he stepped out at about the 34-yard line. Another first down for Southern Miss. More importantly, they're moving it and then stopping the clock.
Yeah, South rushing about 4 folks, and they're just not the way they're dropping back in coverage. Nobody's accounting for the back coming out of the backfield, and that time, 2 times in a row, Carter able to just slip out and pick up first downs for Southern Miss, and like you said, stop the clock more importantly.
Jags rushing 4, can't get to him. Wide open receiver, caught. Micah Davis inside the 5. Talk about a guy that was wide open. Micah Davis puts Southern Mississippi in scoring position once again. Minute and a half to go.
What the arm strength of Braxton. He just looks like he just barely flicks this one over. Just doop.
Well, that's why you keep him in the game, right?
I guess me just being in pain for him as he's kind of running down the field, just wondering if he's going to have any long-term effects.
They're going to go one-on-one, and Ty Goodwill rises up and knocks it away.
Great job by Ty Goodwill right there, just closing speed, and then not only closing speed, but then able to get back there and jump up and knock that ball away from Dalton.
Goodwill had an interception last week against ULM. In fact, he has 2 career interceptions, both against the Warhawks. The one last week he pinned against the back of his helmet as he was going toward the end zone. But gets the PBU there. Now it's 2nd and goal for Southern Miss. Braylon under some pressure, directing traffic, and smartly throws it away. And so you know that he's not really much of a threat to run today. Not always, but today his wheels have been taken off. And they had the one receiver covered, and he was smart to get out of the pocket, throw it across the line of scrimmage, and live to play another play here on 3rd and goal at the 4.
Yeah, South had the beat on him with about 4 guys, and he was doing his best to make sure, like you said, get it across the line of scrimmage, get outside the pocket, don't cost your team any extra thing. Is South's going to do a slow change here. Boy, this may run them all the way down to 4-3-2-1 on the play clock.
They'll go one-on-one, far side. Nehemiah Chandler in coverage. They're going to call pass interference on him. Braylon Brown was the intended receiver.
Pass interference, defense, number 6. The ball be placed at the 2-yard line, automatic first down.
And Nehemiah never turned his head back, and that's what got him right there. The official standing right there on the back of the sideline, but you'll see it right here. A really nice throw, but he does turn his head back at the last second.
And there was some hand fighting, though.
Yeah, but that looked like both players. Now that I see it in replay, I'm not so sure on Chandler.
But 1st and goal at the 2. Southern Miss trying to make this a 1-score game. Major Applewhite ran down.
South Alabama, that's their first of the half. This 2nd's in length.
Former quarterback still has some speed, able to get down to the near side official and get the timeout. Try to get his defense where they need to go, and he's confirming, yes, he's got 2 more timeouts left.
Well, if he had his choice, that would have been his second timeout of the half, because he took a sprint earlier after the call with the holding that we thought was going to be a safety. And he made his way down to about the 10, 11 and was trying to get somebody's attention to call timeout. Didn't get it, but he does get that one after a nice little sprint down the sideline.
Well, if you're the special teams coach for South Alabama, you're gathered around your hands team right now.
You're over there with everybody, and you know, I don't know if old school Stickham's still around, but they are.
Because assuming Southern Mississippi scores the touchdown here, they'll come back with the onside kick. And this thing's not over yet. South Alabama led 42-21 not too long ago, but those total yards evening up. It was so one-sided in South Alabama's favor in the first half. But Braylon Braxton has brought Southern Mississippi back. 1st and goal at the 2. Carter on the handoff at the goal line. Did he get in? No. Stopped just short. Clock's going to run.
Boy, that's a gutsy call, because it just kills you right there because of the time. Southern Miss trying to get up to the line of scrimmage and snap this ball.
They'll run it again. Carter this time breaks the plane. Touchdown Southern Mississippi. And the Golden Eagles now within 1 score. Extra point coming up. And now it's going to come down to the drama of an onside kick. So you're right. Back-to-back runs. A little bit risky because you have no timeouts to work with. But it paid off, and you still have 54 seconds to work with should you be able to get the ball back. Extra point is perfect. And now it's 42-35. And you work on onside kicks all the time, every practice. But you don't get a chance to do it in games very often. Now let's see how good the kicker can be, how good the hands team can be for South Alabama.
Pat, as you kind of, I mean, this is amazing if you go and look at the stat line right here. 400 passing yards for Southern Miss to get them back in this game.
And remember, that was a 95-yard drive.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
This was a Southern Miss team that was backed up at their own 5 after a great punt return. Holding pushed it back. 12 plays, 94 yards, a minute 55 off the clock. And now let's see what the hands team can do. Let's see what the kicker can do.
Yeah, total yards now only separated by 11 yards in this contest, which was so lopsided, leaning towards South Alabama, but it all comes down to this right here.
Reed Harradine is the guy set to kick it. Of course, gone are the days when you can put 9 or 10 guys on one side. And now South Alabama wants to see the setup. They'll call timeout.
South Alabama, that's their second of the half. It'll be 30 seconds in length.
And now, again, it's all the chess match because Southern Miss couldn't take the timeout. They had to show what they were going to do. But that said, you don't have just one onside kick. So do you change things here? Or do you go back in the same setup?
Just a bit. I mean, depends on what your kicker's most comfortable with. You know, it's one of those things that used to, like you said, the old days, boy, you could line everybody up on one side and just send
the old Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, 8 of you clear everybody else out, and let's let the other guy try to go get the ball. And you know, but now it just depends. I mean, some guys got that great second hop and pop it up into the air, and then you have the other guys now that love that little kind of this side squib kick that just does a really weird bounce. I mean, it's a great thing that they made the football the shape they did, because it does take some crazy bounces. And for South Alabama, you're just hoping you get a chance to get a bounce and cover this thing up before Southern Miss can get on it after it goes 10 yards.
So Harradine once again will angle it toward the Southern Miss sideline for now. And that's where he'll go, and it goes right to South Alabama. That was about as easy as it gets. That was Christopher Wallace Jr., the guy that fell on it. And that'll do it.
That's kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it?
Very.
I'm waiting for collisions and waiting for the hop.
It never took one.
A straight shot.
So with that, you've got a 3-7 South Alabama team that's about to knock off a 7-3 Southern Miss team. And the all-time series will continue to stay in South Alabama's favor. They'll go to 6-0 when they're playing their rivals 90 miles away. And those Southern Mississippi fans, for good reason, felt that this was by far their best shot in many, many years. But the Golden Eagles, after Bishop Davenport kneels on it, will drop back-to-back games. They lost 41-14 to Texas State at home last week. And then today, despite a valiant comeback, they're going to fall short in Mobile as the Jags will improve to 4-7 with a 42-35 win.
I'll tell you one thing, just the heart of Braylon Baxter and how that, or Braxton, and how that young man just kind of wheeled himself in the second half. 400 yards passing. That's just, it was fun to kind of see that comeback. But for South Alabama, just a great job of just kind of bowing up when you needed to and getting it done.
Well, the two former Alabama assistants will meet at midfield, and South Alabama gets the win, 42-35. But for Southern Mississippi, the silver lining is you still got Troy next week. Winner of that one is going to go in the Sun Belt Conference West and go to the Sun Belt Conference Championship game. But the big for Southern Miss is that graphic right there. South Alabama 6-0 all time. The only other FBS team that South Alabama has beaten every time they played, San Diego State. They beat them in San Diego and beat them at Ladd Peoples Stadium many years ago. But today for South Alabama, despite the fact that there's no bowl contention, they came out strong, and then sigh of relief as the Jags get the win.
Yeah, it was kind of collective little just exhale as you kind of watch everything go to zero here. And what a fun home season it's been. I gotta miss this as we kind of, get this last home game in. But a great job for Boyson go out as his senior year, like you said, the longest tenured senior that we have here at South Alabama, and then with Bullock, what a day that young man had.
Kentrell Bullock, 23 carries, 187 yards, 3 touchdowns. And he is your player of the game as the alma mater plays for South Alabama, and the Jags will end the home season with a victory. What a day in Mobile, Alabama. We were glad you were part of it. So for Brian Gennard, I'm Pat Greenwood saying so long from Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile. Your final score, South Alabama 42, Southern Miss 35. All games airing on the ESPN networks or streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.